Join us for USC Insider every Tuesday between 7 and 8 o'clock, live from Heritage Hall on the USC campus. Coach Pete Carroll talks football, and we take your calls right here on the USC Radio Network and 1540 The Ticket. Live from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena for your enjoyment, USC Trojan football is on the air. Hi again, everybody. Pete Arbogast, along with Paul McDonald and John Jackson. Today, the best inner-city rivalry that college football has to offer. It's the Trojans of USC, number one ranked, undefeated, and heading for a date possibly in the Orange Bowl for the national championship against the UCLA Bruins, who call the Rose Bowl their home during the regular season. We expect a sellout crowd. They're not all in the building yet. The Bruins are just now taking the field. The Trojan captains are out, but we await the reemergence from the tunnel of the USC Trojans here at the Rose Bowl. It started off to be a picture-perfect day in Southern California, but a storm moved in. It has not started raining yet, but the temperatures have dropped off into the 50s, and a cloud cover has forced the stadium management to turn on the lights here at the Rose Bowl. They are somewhat effective on the turf here at the Rose Bowl. Pete Arbogast with Paul McDonald. And Paul, USC and UCLA, that baby blue just come running out of the tunnel. Got to make your blood boil, doesn't it?
Oh, it gets exciting when you're playing the Bruins. It just does because of the history. And this Bruin team comes in, Pete, with a 6-4 record. As we've talked in the pregame, really up and down. Lost a heartbreaker to ASU, thumped Stanford, then lost and got beat by lowly WSU, Washington State, but then came back and played very well against Oregon. So interesting to see what team for the Bruins shows up here today against the Trojans.
This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the University of Southern California, may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express prior written consent of the University of Southern California. Matt Leinart, Sean Cody, and Matt Grudegood, All-Americans all representing USC as the captains. As the Trojans now emerging from the tunnel on the far side of the Rose Bowl, the coaches are jogging onto the field. And in just a moment, you'll hear the Trojan band fire up with Fight On. The victory bell sounds, and here come the Trojans. And whereas usually we go on the road and the crowd is about 80-20 or more for the opposition, today here it is perhaps even better than 50-50 for USC. The Bruins have won the toss and elected to defer, and the Trojans will open the football game with the football in hand. USC will defend the Southern goal here at the Rose Bowl. Matt Leinart at quarterback. The Trojan starting lineup brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio, giving you the entire NFL with the exclusive NFL Sunday Drive. Listen to the NFL every week only on Sirius Satellite Radio. Leinart, 2,748 yards, 66% completions, 28 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. The Pac-10 Player of the Year offensively for the second consecutive year, and an All-American. He's going to be a Heisman Trophy not only candidate, but we think the winner of the Heisman Trophy come next week. At wide receiver will be Dwayne Jarrett, all Pac-10 freshman, 45 catches leading the Trojans, and 12 touchdowns. Steve Smith gets his first start since returning from injury. He played well against Notre Dame last week. He's the sophomore from Taft. Jarrett, a freshman from New Jersey. Alex Holmes and Dominique Byrd, both Pac-10 honorable mentionists, will share time at tight end. Sam Baker, a redshirt freshman, second team all Pac-10 at left tackle. Deuce Latui and Kyle Williams share time on the right side. It'll be Jeff Byers starting in place of John Drake at the left guard, Fred Matua the right side, and Ryan Khalil the center. Reggie Bush, Lendale White will split duties at tailback. White, 910 yards and 13 touchdowns. For Bush, 629 yards and 4 touchdowns, but 7 more through the air, and a viable threat just about everywhere. So much so, he was first team all Pac-10 running back, first team all Pac-10 punt returner, first team all Pac-10 kick returner. Wow. Lee Webb is the starting fullback. For UCLA on defense, Kyle Morgan and Brigham Harwell, a USC recruit who lists Sean Cody from his high school as his hero when he was growing up, are the defensive ends. Kevin Brown and C.J. Nasulu, the tackles. Justin London, Spencer Havener, and Wesley Walker, a good-looking trio of linebackers. Matt Clark, Pac-10 first-teamer at one corner, with Trey Brown at the other. Jared Page and Ben Emanuel are the safeties. Justin Medlock lining up to kick the ball off for UCLA. The Bruins dressed in their home powder blue jerseys with gold helmets and gold pants. USC in the road whites, gold pants trimmed in cardinal with the cardinal helmet and the Trojan logo on the side. Bush and Reed line up right next to and behind each other so as to try to fool Medlock into kicking it to Bush. They will hope. The kick is approached, and they're not going to mess with it. Kick it high and end over end. Bush will catch it anyway at the 20. Not in full stride, though. Steps away, stays on his feet to the 30, still going forward to about the 33. A pretty good return when you take into account, Paul, that he caught it really standing still at the 19-yard line.
A great return for Reggie Bush. Great field position for the Trojans to start this game. The thing about Reggie Bush, once he catches the ball, he has exceptional speed, but he's a lot stronger and typically breaks 2 or 3 tackles every time he touches the ball. He did so there.
Here come the Trojans then, 1st and 10. The ball marked just across the 32. They'll be moving right to left across your radio dial. Just the start of the ball game. First play, Matt Leinart will bring them out as they're still huddled up waiting for the ball to be set exactly down on the 33-yard line. Lendale White, the running back, the sophomore from Denver's Chatfield High School, with Jarrett and Steve Smith in the pattern, and Alex Holmes in a trips formation left and a picket fence formation that way. Quick flip, it's Smith makes the catch, gets a block from Jason Mitchell, and gets knocked over at about the 34, a gain of 1. Trey Brown with the tackle, a gain of 1, and that's about all. 2nd down and 9 coming up for USC.
That reminded me of Jerry Rice at Mississippi Valley State. They had the 3 receivers lined up behind one another. Just flip it out to Steve Smith and have him try and make a move, utilizing the blocks of the receivers ahead of him. Great play by cornerback Trey Brown to slip the block and make the tackle.
McFoy and Smith right, Jarrett left, backs in the eye with Kurtman in at fullback on 2nd and 9, just shy of the 35. Handoff, going right side. It's Reggie Bush, 35, changes direction at the 40, still on his feet at the 50, down the sideline to the 40. He's at the 35. They won't catch it at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, USC! Reggie Bush on the 2nd play of the game goes 66 yards. He dives into the end zone, perhaps a showman boat sort of move, gets a 15-yard penalty for excess celebration, but the Trojans lead with 58 seconds gone in the game. How do you do?
And leave it to Reggie Bush to set the tempo for this game. It's a phenomenal block at the last part of the run to spring him for the touchdown by Dwayne Jarrett on Ben Emanuel II, and then he cut back behind that block. You knew the Trojans were going to come after him on the run because the Bruin defense has allowed 221 yards to run. Delayed draw to Reggie. He finds a huge hole off the right side, then it's all the way back to the left. Follows the great block by Jarrett into the end zone for a touchdown. What a great way to start this game for the Trojan, Pete. And it picks up where they left off the last 2 years, scoring the first 3 or 4 times they touched the football.
A couple of years ago here, it was a fumble recovery on the first play of the game and a touchdown on the 2nd play. The extra point try will come from its standard difference, as the penalty probably will be tacked on after the extra point. Snap is back a little low. It's placed down successfully, and it's good. We've got a timeout here at the Rose Bowl. We'll keep it right here as the Trojans score and electrify this crowd. And Reggie Bush, every time he touches the ball, he's had a lot to do with this game already. 2 touches, and he's got most of the Trojan yardage.
He is such an electrifying player because he does it all. He made a move also at the end, so he great block by Jarrett, and then he made a great cutback move on Matt Clark, cornerback, who's very fast in his own right. You just can't tackle Reggie Bush in the open field.
So the Bruins will go on the attack. Your Southern California Lexus dealers, proud to sponsor Trojan football and the USC UCLA Lexus Gauntlet Crosstown Rivalry. Your Lexus dealer, pursuing perfection. Drew Olson at quarterback, 2,100 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5th all-time single season for UCLA, 219 yards a game, 11 interceptions. He's only been sacked 14 times. The Bruins number 1 in the Pac-10 in protecting their quarterback. Junior Taylor and Craig Bragg are the wide receivers. Michael Pitre, the fullback. Manuel White out of Valencia High in the Santa Clarita area will start at tailback. The 50-year senior Maurice Drew expects to play. Mike McCloskey, a 3-year returner at center. Shannon Tavaga, a freshman at strong guard, but everybody else fairly experienced. Stephen Vieira, the right guard. Weak tackle, Ed Blanton. Paul Mossler is the strong tackle, and a great one in Mercedes Lewis, the tight end for UCLA. Chris Markey and Tab Perry are deep to receive for the Bruins. The kickoff will come from the 20, and it's high and end over end. It comes down to Markey at the 6-yard line, and he's got a lot of running room to the 20. 25 gets a block, 30, and he's out to the 35. One man to beat. and he can't beat Wright out at the 50-yard line. He gets knocked down forward to the USC 44-yard line. Because of the XX celebration dive-in by Bush, it gave the Bruins a chance for a long return, and they got it and have the short field at the USC 44, a 50-yard return for Chris Markey.
And that's a huge advantage because they gave him a chance to return. Ryan Killeen typically so great at kicking in the end zone for a touchback, and the Bruins very good on kickoff return. 5th in the Pac-10, 21 yards to carry. Their average will go up after that one return.
Barry Wright, Junior Taylor left. One back is Manuel Wright, but he'll get a play action from Olsen. Throw. It's complete to the tight end Lewis at the 50. Stag steps to Trojan, gets back to the 44, and that's all before Matt Grudegood will trip him up and knock him over sideways. No gain ultimately on the play. 2nd down and 10. Trojans defensively, Lawrence Jackson, all Pac-10 freshman at the left end. Frosty Rucker on the right side. All-American and Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year Sean Cody, and first-team Pac-10 back-to-back man Mike Patterson inside. Dallas Sarts, Lofa Tatupu, and Matt Grudegood, an All-American. Grudegood and Tatupu, Pac-10 first-teamers, are the linebackers. Hand off, it's Manuel Wright getting up the middle. Check that, it's Petre the fullback. He gets to the 40-yard line, maybe a touch closer than that. Give him 4 to the 40. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Gain the home field advantage for complete coverage of today's game and all Pac-10 football action. Check out the sports section in tomorrow's Daily News.
That was an unbalanced left set, Pete. Try and overload to one side, catch the Trojans off guard, and before they could notice what was the set, they had a quick handoff to Petre up the middle, but Tatupu, Bruce Sternum and all, made a nice tackle.
Harry Taylor and Bragg off to the left. Manuel White wide to the right. Empty backfield, 3rd and 6 for Drew Olsen. He drops quickly to pass. 3-step, throwing long down the left side. They've got the man covered. A catch is made, but out of bounds. Nice job by Eric Wright to push Junior Taylor out of bounds about the 10-yard line. And Wright was with him step for step, and had that been a well-thrown ball and an inbounds ball, Wright would have had an interception.
You have to throw the ball in the playing field in order to have a chance for a completion. Blitz, Lofa Tatupu, but good protection for Drew Olsen. He just threw it out of bounds. Did not give Junior Taylor a chance to make the catch. Eric Wright, good corner play, forcing Taylor to go outside towards the sidelines, but you got to throw it inside the playing field to make a chance for a completion.
Chris Kluwe will punt, or will he, from the 40-yard line. Greg Carlson standing on the 10. Snap is back. Kluwe surveys the scene, and a little pooch kick. Carlson watches it sail over his head and bounce at the 5, roll down to the 2, and be touched there by the Bruins, and that's where SC will go from on the 2-yard line. We've got a timeout on the field with 12:23 remaining first quarter. Trojans 7, UCLA nothing on the Trojan Radio Network.
Something's missing, always missing. Too much talking, not enough kissing. You get the bucks without the pain. Plenty of yin and not enough yang. I bet ain't nothing without a ball. Don't settle for someone, you can have it all. Fresh food, real, but it's all here. Fresh food, real, but light.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, I'm Reggie Bush of the Trojan football team. Whether it's a short flare pass or student body right, I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent USC athletics this season. I'd like to thank all the members of the athletic support groups, the scholarship club, the committee, Women of Troy, Cardinal and Gold, and the Trojan Club members. The proud heritage at USC has been built year by year on the achievement of outstanding athletes. I appreciate your support of our education and our future. Fight on.
Children are precious. When they're sick or hurt, we want the best care for them. For more than a century, Children's Hospital Los Angeles has helped heal children who are suffering from serious disease and injury. Its physicians are recognized leaders. Its treatments set the standard of care. Its research is recognized worldwide. And it's one of America's premier teaching hospitals affiliated with USC's Keck School of Medicine for more than 72 years. Children's Hospital Los Angeles, a world leader in pediatric and adolescent health.
You've got SoCal's official football station, 1540 The Ticket.
The Trojans score on their first possession on their second play on a Reggie Bush 66-yard touchdown run, lead 7-0, and have the ball back at their own 2-yard line. Sky Team and its 6 members are here to get you there with over 7,000 flights to 500 destinations in 110 countries. Sky Team makes life easier for you. Sky Team caring more about you and a proud sponsor of Trojan football. Visit skyteam.com for more information. Happy holidays to everybody. Did I show you this picture of my sister's Christmas tree?
Oh, beautiful. Oh, you got the 2 fingers up there. Fight on foam rubber. That's right.
Trojans ball. Tailbacks lined up in the end zone. Leinart takes the snap, hands off. And Lendale White turned around at the line of scrimmage off the left side and gets maybe a yard. Justin London will push him back there. He's out of Virginia, only a junior. He and Havener and Walker, all 3 starting linebackers, will be back next year. 2nd down and 9 from the 3.5.
And as you said, it's a good trio of linebackers. Justin London scraped right off, following to the outside, following Lendale White's path, made a nice tackle to keep the Trojans pinned back.
2nd down and 9, about the 3. Holmes and Bird double tight end there, although Bird will go split out to the left, and Holmes slots on the left side. Twin receivers to the right. Holmes goes in motion that way. One back is White. Leinart rolls the pocket right, throws as he's hit from the end zone. Jarrett makes a great up-high catch at about the 15-yard line. Enough for a USC first down. They'll mark him down at the 16. A gain of 13 and a 1st and 10 USC.
This is a great throw by Matt Leinart. Dropping back deep in his own territory, setting up in his end zone, little half roll. Great pressure provided by Kevin Brown right in Leinart's face. He throws this ball before Dwayne Jarrett comes out of the break. Right on the money on the sidelines. Perfect execution on the comeback.
Quite the catch by Jarrett as well. Mitchell to the left. Jarrett goes right. Steve Smith slotted left. One back is White. 1st and 10 Trojans. Their own 16. Drive started at the 3. Handoff. White left side. Big hole out to the 20. And bumped off his pins right there. He'll get forced. Havener and London team up for the tackle. The sun starts to shine on the Trojan end zone where Bush just scored that touchdown moments ago. And well, it should. It's 2nd down and 6.
Little trappy pull. Fred Matua around to the left side from his right guard position, leading Lendale White through. He got enough of Justin London to knock him off to allow some yardage for Lendale White. Totally different game plan this week, Pete, because the Bruins not good at stopping the run as opposed to the Irish last week. Very good against the run.
Bush wide to the right side. Play action for Leinart. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Dumps it to Kirkman at the 20. He's across the 25 and dives out to about the 27-yard line. Close to a first down. I think he got it. Trey Brown credited with the tackle. That is enough for a USC first down. 7 yards on the dump off to David Kirkman.
That's his great quarterback play again by Matt Leinart. Dropping back play action pass into the pocket. Didn't like Dwayne Jarrett down the field, so he just simply comes off into the flat very quickly. Not allowing that Bruin front 4 to get to him. Flips it out in the flat to David Kirkman. The guy catches it every time. Just move the sticks. That's what you want to think as a quarterback. Matt Leinart does it as well as anybody.
Smith right, McFoy left. Thunder and Lightning backfield. Very far split behind the tackles. And it's an inside handoff to Lendale White to the 30. Stays on his feet. Punishes a Bruin to the 35. And out across the 35 to the 38, 39-yard line. Trey Brown and Ben Emanuel. One of them paid the price for a forearm shiver from Lendale White. 11 yards and another Trojan first down.
A little misdirection that time. You got both guys in the backfield. Reggie Bush. Rarely you see this. It's a pony backfield. And then you have a little counterplay with Lendale White coming back the other way. He runs right through a tackle, Wesley Walker, and then runs over another Bruin to get another first down.
1st and 10 at the 39. That punt by Cluey set the Trojans back to the 2-yard line, but they've moved it out well so far. Twin receivers to the right side. Jarrett flanked by Steve Smith, who comes in motion. Backs in the eye, Kirkman and White. On 1st and 10. Play action rolling this way is Leinart. Leinart looking downfield and got Jarrett at the 50. Makes a great catch in front of Steve Smith. Might have poached that pass. Matt Clark will pull him down. Not before another gain of 11. And a first down USC at the 50-yard line.
When you run the football, it allows you to run the bootleg. And sometimes the Trojans run the bootleg before they run the football. But when you have great execution, good play fake, and then you buy the quarterback some time. Dwayne Jarrett is on a crossing route all the way across the field. And the reason that Matt Leinart went Dwayne Jarrett is because Kirkman was covered, Smith was covered. That was Matt Leinart's third receiver. Nice throw. It's high, but Jarrett can go up with his big frame to catch it.
1st and 10 at midfield. Leinart hands the ball to Lendale White again. He's got the Bruin 45. He's got the Bruin 41-yard line. And the Trojans doing what most teams have done against UCLA on the ground. Just push him around and move the ball down the field with some ease. 9 yards on the game. 2nd and 1. Justin Hickman is in replacing Brigham Harwell at defensive end for UCLA. Harwell, the All-American from Los Altos, heavily recruited by, well, everybody really. SC wanted him, everybody wanted him, and he ended up at UCLA.
The Trojan offensive line coming off on that Bruin defense. Good block by Jeff Byers on outside linebacker Wesley Walker. No match there. Walker only 222, but good positioning by Byers to spring the hole. and open the hole for Lendale White.
8th play of the drive, second and 1 to the Bruin 41. Moving right to left, second possession of the game. Trojans leading 7-0 over UCLA. It's Reggie Bush again. He's got the first down to the 39, and the pile pushes him back there after a gain of 2. First and 10 Trojans at the UCLA 39-yard line. Trojan football brought to you by the doctors of USC. Whether it's an annual checkup or a complex medical problem, the doctors of USC can provide outstanding care for you and your family. Call 1-800-USC-CARE.
The Bruins allowed 300-plus yards on the ground against Washington. They just don't do a good job of stopping the running game because they're not getting any penetration from that defensive line. You look at the line of scrimmage, if you're watching on television or you're here in the stadium, see the Trojans push back that Bruin defensive line off the ball. That's the advantage that the Trojans have in this game.
Bird goes in motion on first down to the right. Leinert drops to pass, wants to throw long, comes up short to Jarrett, makes another good catch at the UCLA 26 in front of the Trojan bench. Push back from there. They'll give him forward progress only to the 27. Trey Brown defending, but giving Jarrett way too much of a pad. And a 13-yard pickup gives the Trojans another first down. That's 7 first downs, 3 on the ground, 4 through the air. The Trojans and Norm Chow mixing it up well, and it's first and 10 at the 27.
Running the football more than you think Norm Chow would do, but because you've got a Bruin defense that can't stop the run, you've got to mix the run in there. He's doing it well. Run, play action pass, there, play action pass, and Reggie Bush did a good job hunting down Wesley Walker to make sure he got in front of him to allow Matt Leinert to make the throw to Jarrett.
Nick Vanderboom, all Pac-10 academic tight end, is in for USC. And it's Bush on an end around, come around. He almost got stuck. 30, he's going to have to run out of bounds and get clubbed for a loss at about the 29-yard line of 2 yards. That play was very well read by UCLA. Bush was lucky he didn't lose about 10. As it is, he turned it into just a 2-yard loss.
Should have handed it to Lendale White. Lendale White would have got at least 5 or 6 on that one, but it was a plan reverse. Good time to call it down there when you're in the red zone or close to the red zone. Come with a reverse, especially when you're running the ball so well in between the tackles. But that was a good job by Bruce Davis, who's defensive end, and he's the one that spilled it outside.
Bruce Davis's dad, Bruce Sr., 2-time Super Bowl champ with the Raiders. He was a good one.
Trojans have 12 plays so far, no third downs. They're moving the ball on first and second down.
Don't have to worry about third down conversions yet. Second and 11, flip, right side, left side to Jarrett. He can't get away at the 25, gets 4. Nice tackle by Trey Brown. That's 5 tackles for Brown. They're picking on him, obviously, going to Jarrett quite often. And here's a third down try. Third down and 8 from the 25-yard line. Leinert now 6 of 6 for 50 yards in the first quarter.
Pete, like all offensive coordinators, you take a look at that secondary and you say, well, who do we want to pick on? And you got Matt Clark, even though he's 5'9", all Pac-10 first team. So you want to pick on Trey Brown. That's what the Trojans are doing. Good tackle that time by Brown. Hey, in the last 3 games, he's had 29 tackles, so the guy's doing something right.
Big play for the Bruins, trying to stay in the ball game early, down 7-0 first quarter, 3rd and 8. Bush in the backfield, Leinert steps up in the pocket, throws under at the 20, and that's as far as the Trojans will get. It'll be 3rd and 3 at the 20-yard line, and a field goal try coming up. Pass completed to Steve Smith, and the Trojans will try for 3. It'll be a 37-yard attempt on the right hash mark for Ryan Killeen, who's hit his last couple. Trojan football brought to you by Verizon, the official local and long-distance company of USC Athletics.
There's a guy, Matt Leinert, that knows how to play the quarterback position, Pete. I mean, don't try and force it down the field. You're in field goal position. Just take what they give you, even though it might not be a first down. Get completions. He did it that time to Steve Smith. Now Ryan Killeen's in great position, lining up for a 38-yard field goal attempt.
Here comes the kick try as the place is down. The kick is away. It has the distance, and the Trojan fans behind the goalpost say it's good, and now so do the referees. Time out of the field. 6:08 remaining first quarter. Trojans 10, UCLA nothing. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
Out of the way, everybody on the road. This car of yours is brand spanking, sticker still on the window new. It's too good for this road, too good for that parking lot. It's way too good for that cut-rate car insurance company of yours. Time to move up to a State Farm agent. Someone you can count on to help protect this dream machine. Who'll help you get the right coverage at the right price. Hey, in the van, you're getting a little close.
Life gets better, shouldn't your car insurance company? Talk to a State Farm agent today. State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.
And we're back to the action where our business owner is scrambling to meet his deadline.
You know, his clients, vendors, and employees are all over the field, but he can't seem to call them all together.
Hold it. He's giving it another shot. He's dialing.
Now everyone's dialing.
It's a
Turnaround.
With Verizon Conference Connections, it's easy to bring all the people you need to make snap decisions all together with one conference call. Anytime, anywhere there's a phone. And there's no activation fee. Just call 1-800-788-7587 to start today.
And he makes the deadline with time to spare.
Now that's what Verizon Conference Connections is all about.
Amazing.
Call 1-800-788-7587 today. Verizon, a proud sponsor of USC football.
Verizon. Make progress every day. Conference connections provided by Verizon Enterprise Solutions and Verizon Long Distance. Rates subject to change. Terms and conditions apply.
The Trojans call us home, and so should you. This is 1540 The Ticket.
Trojans drive from their own 2 to the Bruin 20, settle for 3, lead 10-0, 6:08 to go in the first. Let's hop on down to the field and John Jackson. John?
Hey, when you have two teams in a crosstown rivalry, you know that they have to break tendencies because they know each other so well. How about Norm Chow? Usually the Trojans are a zone running type of team. There's some counters, there's some reverses, there are also some inside traps. That's all new to the game plan. Back to you, Pete.
Colleen, this time will kick off from the standard 35-yard line. It won't go into the end zone, though, and Markey, who had a 50-yard return last time, catches it on the dead standstill at the 5, and here he goes again. Gets hit by Oscar Lua across the 25 to the 27-yard line. A little extra chippiness as Herschel Dennis gets into it with one of the Bruins or another. But no flags, a 22-yard return. It'll be a first down Bruins at the 27.
Pete, again, the Trojans really doing a great job on offense, scoring the first 2 times, 10-0. You got to wonder what the Bruins are thinking now. They know they can't allow that Trojan offense back on the field. They've got to mount a drive here. So how are you going to do that? All comes down to first down. They've got to get 5, 6, 7 yards on first down.
Taylor over to the left side, backs in the eye. Tight end Keith Carter in motion. Handoff. And it's Markey, the left side, out to the 30-yard line. So Drew hasn't been used yet. Markey is a true freshman out of Louisiana who was Pac-10 Player of the Week with his 131 yards against Oregon. Now there's a little fracas going on in the field. Bad blood between the Trojans and the Bruins. There's no surprise there. Gain of 3. Tatupu the tackle. He's in there with that bruised sternum and all. They said he was going to start, and he did. It's 2nd and 7.
You don't want to miss this game, but missing Maurice Drew is hurting this Bruin team. I mean, 160 yards of total offense, all-purpose yards. That's what the guy does on offense, and, of course, the return game, averaging 6.7 yards a carry.
Handoff, and it's White. Penalty marker down against the Bruins. A holding call coming up. A gain of 2 for Manuel White. Matt Grudegood will bring him down. It would be a 3rd and 5, or you could have a 2nd and 17.
That looks like a holding call. It was thrown exactly in the pile where you get the offensive holding call, and yes, that's what it is.
74th meeting in 75 years between these two. The Trojans lead the series 39-27 with 7 ties. SC has won 5 in a row. Here at the Rose Bowl, the 12th meeting.
Number 73. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
UCLA leads here 7-4, but the Trojans have won the last 2. And dating back to 1950, I made mention of this in the pregame show. The Trojans and Bruins are separated by 1 game. Back to 1950. Trojans up by 1.
It's great rivalry. The greatest, inner city, no question.
Maurice Drew is in, the sophomore from Concord de La Salle, with Michael Petre, the fullback, in front of him. Motion for Craig Bragg. Handoff to Drew, left side, caught, thumped by Mike Patterson in the backfield for a loss. Back to the 15-yard line. What was a 2nd and 17 has now become a 3rd and 22 at the 15. And let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Trojan Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Here's SoCal's only local sports in the morning with Roger Lodge and the Ticket Morning Show.
No offense to Mike Patterson, but if Maurice Drew is a speedster, he looked slower than Mike Patterson, who's not slow at all, but Drew didn't look like Maurice Drew.
I'd take Mike Patterson in a 5-yard sprint. Just beat Stephen Vieira off the ball.
Olsen to pass. He throws, but it's hit, tipped by Sean Cody, knocked down to the line of scrimmage, incomplete, 4th down, and now the Trojans will have some pretty good field position coming up. If they kick it to Bush, look out. If they don't kick it to Bush, it's going to go out of bounds around the 50-yard line.
Just too much penetration by that Trojan front 4, and when they don't get in there, you get the big paw up there, and that's what Sean Cody did. Pretty good protection that time by Stephen Vieira on Sean Cody. Not close to Drew Olsen, but he got his big paw up there, knocked the ball down. Now they're punting.
Kluwe, 43 yards per kick, 2nd best punter in the Pac-10 behind Tom Malone of USC. Snap is perfectly back from Riley Jondal. Kick is away. Beauty. Long spiral. Bush at the 33-yard line. Gets away from the first man. Cuts it back at the 45. Still on his feet. out near 50-yard line. Looked like he tripped on Desmond Reed.
Or his
looked like he
own
tripped
feet.
his own man.
I know.
At any rate, he still took it out to the 48. You can hear the crowd. Whoa!
I don't know if they call a return for Reggie Bush or not. I think they probably just say, hey, go back there and block somebody, because you don't know where this guy's going to go. If you call a left, you might be right.
We'll take a break. 4:08 left first quarter. Score USC 10, UCLA nothing. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
If you're a USC fan, then you know the Trojans have one of the hottest tickets in town. And if you want to watch them defend their national championship, you can get great tickets on StubHub.com. StubHub.com is the #1 site for sports, concerts, and theater tickets in LA and nationwide. So whether you want to sit courtside at Staples, see a show in Vegas, or fly cross-country to watch the Trojans in another bowl game, you can get all your seats on StubHub.com, guaranteed. Visit StubHub.com today or call 1-866-STUB-HUB. StubHub!
How did they know? How did Mercedes-Benz know that the premium leather seat of my new E500 would make me feel this comfortable? How did they know how fond I'd become of all 24 valves of the incredibly quick 302 horsepower V8? How did Mercedes-Benz know that? How did they know how attached I'd become to the Harman Kardon Logic 7 surround sound system and optional in-dash CD changer? How did they know that I wouldn't think of my E500 so much as a car, but as a goal achieved? How did they know? Maybe they knew that around here, you have to love what you drive.
Visit your Mercedes-Benz dealer of Southern California for a test drive today. The sound system and CD changer are part of an optional entertainment package. Harman Kardon and Logic 7 are registered trademarks of Harman International Industries, Inc.
The 17 Southern California Mercedes-Benz dealers have the right luxury convertible, coupe, sedan, or SUV for every Trojans fan. Test drive the Mercedes-Benz of your dream today at your nearby dealer or see them on the web at mbsocal.com.
Stick with a ticket for SoCal's best sports talk. 1540 The Ticket.
10-0 Troy. 4:08 to go first quarter. They've got the ball back at their own 48. Here at the Rose Bowl, first quarter action. Reggie Bush with a 66-yard run from scrimmage for a score. Colleen with a field goal, and Bush has been electrifying in just about every way so far today. Leinert, not bad either. He's 7 for 7. Make it 8 for 8. Pass on the right side. Just a couple of yards on this one to Lee Webb. He'll get to the Bruin 49, a gain of 3. Leinert now 8 for 8 for 57 yards, and Jarrett has caught 4 of those for 41 yards. The booth to our right, dogs and cats living in sin. It's the Orange Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl guys together. What are the Fiesta Bowl guys doing here? Just taking a trip for fun?
Just for fun, a little boondoggle, you know. I mean, what the heck,
If
you know?
you can, you should.
What's happening now out there in the field is not good for the Bruins. Trojans moving the ball, as always, and they've had 2 3-and-outs on offense. The Trojans had the ball again about midfield. Not looking good for the Bruins this early in the game.
Hand off, and here comes Lendale White, who's knocked off his legs from behind at about the Bruin 47. Another 1 yard, maybe 2. It'll be 3rd and 6 for USC. Trojan football brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Your Southern California Mercedes-Benz dealers have the right luxury convertible, coupe, sedan, or SUV for every Trojan fan. Test drive the Mercedes-Benz of your dream today, or see them on the web at mbsocal.com. It looks like Mike Walden outfitted those guys, a former Trojan play-by-play guy.
I've never seen colors like that.
Not since he sat in this chair.
Of course, he had them all in the same jacket.
Right, yeah, that's not good. Over to the right side. Smith and Mitchell. Left is Jarrett. One back is Reggie Bush on 3rd and 6. Bruin crowd screams. Pass complete to Bird. Bird knocked down at about the 44-yard line. That'll be short of a first down. At the 44 by Eric McNeil, the sophomore out of Sarah High School in Gardena. Well, 4th down and you're up 10-0. Probably bring the punt you today.
Punt the ball. Very good series defensively for the Bruins, holding the Trojans short gains on every down. Good tackle in open field. Again, Matt Leinert had to come off to Dominique Bird, who's always great in the open field. The first guy never tackles him, but this time Eric McNeil, backup safety, putting a good tackle on Dominic Bird.
Tackle him down low. That's the only way. You're not going to get him up high. Malone will try to keep it out of the end zone, and looks to be mildly successful as a fair catch is called for at the 11-yard line by UCLA. And Jared Page, 39-yard kick, well placed by the Trojans' Tom Malone. Cluey, the Bruin punter, is a Ray Guy finalist for top punter, senior punter of the year. But who's the Pac-10, all Pac-10 first-team punter?
Tom Malone.
There you go.
Tom Malone. He's got to beat by, I don't know, a half a yard or something like that, or 3/4 of a yard. I'll tell you, the Bruins, though, are very good in special teams. Talked about Clue. He had one down in the 2-yard. Inside the 20, nice punt there. Another good punt inside the 20. He's net punting for the Bruins. They're 40 yards per attempt, and they're great on kickoff return, punt return, field goals. Very good special teams by the Bruins.
Markey, student body left for UCLA, gets out to the 11, 12-yard line. The original line of scrimmage, bodies flying everywhere. It'll be no gain as Grudegood interrupts that play. 2nd down and 10. Jacobson Easy Go Textron, also the sponsor of Trojan Football, your leader in golf and turf equipment. For all your golf and turf needs, call 1-800-452-2887.
So tough to have an offense that's consistent against this Trojan defense, and when you run wide, they're going to have 11 guys chasing you. So Trojans swarmed the ball good on that one.
And it's Frosty Rucker in quickly on Olsen, who turned right, turned left, and saw Frosty Rucker's big mug right in his face mask, and a sack back to the 7-yard line. Ooh!
It was a 3-step drop, too, a quick throw.
Did he get 3 steps off?
Barely, and then Drew Olsen wanted to go back to his backside, so Olsen looked to his right, wanted to throw back to Joe Cowan on a slant. Eric Wright right there, couldn't get the ball off. Frosty Rucker right inside his jersey. Nice tackle, nice sack by Frosty Rucker on Drew Olsen.
3rd for Frosty, the redshirt junior, 19-year-old out of Tustin, transfer from Colorado State. Trojans, the 5th defensive back, is in, and Kevin Arbette. Flip out of the backfield, complete at the goal line, out to the 10, and to about the 17, 18-yard line. UCLA will move it out there. Manuel White, Lopez-Atup with the tackle, but it'll be well short of a first down, and the Bruins will have to kick it right back to USC as we're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Trojan football brought to you by Aloha Airlines. Get low fares to Hawaii from Burbank and Orange County airports with Tuesday through Thursday departures. For reservations and fare specials, visit AlohaAirlines.com. Here comes Reggie Bush again.
Oh, boy.
And they're going to have to kick it.
You can't kick it to Reggie. The Irish didn't do it. He had no returns, and therefore no touchdowns on punt returns or kickoff returns.
Oh, it's a fake, and up the middle go the Bruins, and they've got the first down out to about the 30. That's quite a gutsy call back at your own 20-yard line. If you don't get that, you're asking for
the game's almost over. But they snapped it short. Looked like Wesley Walker was the up back for protection. And we got a timeout and a great play for the Bruins.
As they finish the first quarter, the end of one, the Trojans leading UCLA 10-0. They keep the ball. We'll be back after these messages on the Trojan Radio Network.
Hear every USC game here on the Trojan Station, 1540 The Ticket.
Follow the Trojans throughout the season with the Petros Papadakis Show on flagship station 1540 The Ticket. Petros can be heard weekdays between noon and 2, but only on 1540 The Ticket. Trojans leading 10-0 as we head into the second quarter. John Bartels, our in-studio producer. Rick Cutler on site. Bertawada spotter, and Mark Hoppy, our statistician, who shows us the Trojans with 153 total offensive yards to the Bruins 19, including that fake punt. First downs are 7-1, including that Bruins fake punt. Rushing yards at 94-8, passing 59-11. Leinert 9 of 9 in the first quarter, 59 yards. 4 of those to Dwayne Jarrett. First play, second quarter, Manuel White gets away. It's dragging Trojans out across the 30 to about the 33, a pickup of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Drew Olsen 2 of 4 for 11 yards. He was sacked once. And the Bruins just not able to get anything untracked on offense at all. Their best play was a fake punt.
And that was the 4th down conversion. Caught the Trojans by surprise. Huge hole up the middle. Wesley Walker just went straight ahead, barreled ahead for the first down. That was the biggest play of the first quarter for the Bruins.
When your linebacker is your leading ground gainer.
You got problems.
Yeah. 2nd down and 6. Olsen up under center. He'll hand it off, and White is dragged down. He almost took the hand off. Mike Patterson did. And a loss on the play back to the 28-yard line. They could have just as well handed it off to Patterson.
This Bruin offensive line has not seen anything close to the USC front four. Mike Patterson so quick off the ball and times that snap count. We asked him in one post-game interview, Pete, what is it? He just has that incredible instinct and athletic ability. Going up against a very good center in Mike McCloskey, second-team Pac-10 honoree recently, just beat him to the punch and made the tackle.
Taylor right, Bragan Perry left. 3rd and 12. Olsen throws as he's hit, underthrown because he was hit. Keith Rivers, among others, There were so many Trojan white shirts around him, it's hard to tell who made the contact. At any rate, it's incomplete and a 4th down, and now a battle of punting has broken out here after an early game. Very exciting start.
You will not convert many 3rd down conversions on 3rd and long. The Trojans love to bring the blitz. They did. Lofa Tutupu, he came late, but he was able to get to Drew Olson. Olson couldn't follow through, and that's why the ball fell in the dirt. Also, strong safety blitz with Jason Leach.
Kluwe to punt. This one a high, nice hang time spiral. Caught by the Trojans' Carlson at the 25, and he'll get a couple of yards to the 27, and that's all. And we'll take another break in the action. 13:26 left first half. USC 10, UCLA nothing. After the 45-yard kick, Trojans go on the attack on the Trojan Radio Network.
You're heading to the Coliseum in your new GMC Envoy XUV. As Fight On blasts through your 6-speaker stereo, people stop and stare. Because you're driving the only SUV with a power sliding rear roof that uncovers an all-weather cargo area. Or maybe it's the cardinal and gold face-painted fans screening out your windows. See the Envoy XUV at your Southern California GMC truck dealers. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
At the 10, 5, touchdown USC. I don't know how he caught the ball.
Hi, I'm Sean Cody, and I'd like to take time out long enough to thank all the members of the Trojan Athletic Support Groups. The Trojan football team appreciates your continuing support, which allows USC's proud athletic heritage to grow. Thanks to the Scholarship Club, Women of Troy members, the committee, Cardinal Gold, and the Trojan Club, whose donations go to athletic scholarships. On behalf of all Trojan student athletes, past and present, I'd like to say thank you.
When the time comes to choose a physician, one group is remarkably different. The doctors of USC. It's those last 3 letters that do it. As faculty physicians at the Keck School of Medicine, they are the pioneers of tomorrow's medicine, providing a level of treatment that can only come from one of America's leading academic medical centers. Trust your health to the doctors of USC. To make one of our doctors yours, call 1-800-USC-CARE.
I'm Pete Carroll, and this is the home of the Trojans, 1540, the ticket.
Trojans leading 10-0 early second quarter. Let's go down and check in with John Jackson on the Trojan sideline. John?
Hey, well, Pete, the defense is very dominating up front, and what's happening is that they're getting into the backfield, putting pressure on Olsen. And talking to the coaching staff during the week, they said the one thing they wanted to do is get some good hits on him because they had 6 sacks a year ago. They thought if they would get some pressure on him, that huge hit by Rucker is a factor, and Olsen already doesn't look the same as he has in weeks past.
How's the weather down there? Cold yet?
Not too bad. I'm still surviving. As long as there's some breaks in the clouds, I'm okay.
UCLA statistician Dave Davis says the coldest he can remember since that John Shara game in '75, the night game, John McKay's last game.
Starting to get a little chilly. The wind's blowing through the booth here. It feels a little chill in the air. It's going to get colder and colder.
As Hoppy said, it's December, you know.
Oh, I know. This is Southern California, though. They don't like that cold stuff.
1st and 10 at the 28. Trojans moving left to right this second quarter action. And a delayed handoff, and it's Bush slithering his way across the 30 to the 31, maybe the 32. Gain of 3 for sure. And a 2nd down and 7 coming up. Nikola Dragovic from Rancho Buena Vista in San Diego makes the tackle.
Good lead block by David Kurtman on inside linebacker Justin London, allowing some running room for Reggie Bush. That was a nice run by him. That was earlier, had that little delay. That was a big run by Bush earlier.
Glendale White back in the backfield for the Trojans, the 1-back. Left side go Mitchell and Smith. To the right, Jarrett. He's had a hot day already. Sun starts to shine in the Rose Bowl grounds. Handoff. Left side, White starts through the line, then gets cut down at the 35 and works his way out to the 36, giving the Trojans a 3rd down and 2 and a 4-yard gain.
USC football is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers, proud sponsors of the USC-UCLA Lexus Gauntlet Crosstown Rivalry. Your Lexus dealer pursuing perfection.
Glendale came into the game needing 90 yards to go over 1,000 for the first time for a Trojan since Sultan McCullough in 2000. And already starting the day, 26th on the USC single season list, and has passed Grenny Lansdell into the number 23 spot on the all-time list. 3rd and 2. Liner, quick drop throw. Jarrett first down to the 40 to the 41-yard line in front of Eric McNeil. An odd formation for the Trojans. Looked like a crooked line, really. It's just kind of a jagged line.
It's like a double bunch. It was a double bunch. You had 2 wide receivers line up to the left and 2 line up to the right, but they're in a bunch so therefore close to the ball. And then when the ball snapped, they all separate, and you get this separation with the defense. Defense lines up in a bunch, and they separate. Pitch and catch to Dwayne Jarrett. Very hard to stop the Trojans on 3rd and 2.
Webb and White in the I. Smith wide right, joined by McFoy. Jarrett to the left, 1st and 10. SC hash mark left at the SC 42, and a handoff to White. And it looked like he went the wrong way. Maybe Justin London interrupts the play, certainly for UCLA. The loss of 2 on it, back to the 40-yard line. There was nowhere to go and too many guys in the wrong spot, it looked like.
That was a good defensive play call. That was a corner blitz with Trey Brown. He was in the backfield, and you also had Justin London and Wesley Walker were in there. So deciding to come after the Trojans on 1st and 10 with a blitz, and the Trojans had the wrong play up. They had a delay, which is a slower developing play, and too much penetration in the backfield that time for Lindale White.
Jarrett goes left from the 40 on 2nd and 12. Smith and Mitchell right. One back is Reggie Bush, and he's way back of Matt Leinart. But they'll give it to Reggie Bush, and he runs into the pile at the 40, runs into a Bruin at the 41, and he gets dropped at the 42. Kyle Morgan from OJ's old high school, Galileo in San Francisco, makes the tackle. 3rd and 10.
Norm Chow must have watched some old tapes from the 60s and 70s this week in this great rivalry with UCLA. Running the ball way more than we thought he would run it. We knew he would. But, of course, in this season, it's all about the pass and you complement with the run. But a great job by that Trojan, the Bruin front 4, getting good penetration, not much running room that time.
Oh, look, the goofy towel waiver is back on the sideline, and Bruin fans have towels in the stands. Well, takes one to know one, I guess. 3rd and 10. Leinart drops to pass, all kinds of time, waiting. Flags are down in the backfield, and a flag is actually, the play has been blown dead. The Trojans might have been offside. Play is blown dead. And that usually means when they don't let the offense run the play, that it's against the offense. Gain the home field advantage for complete coverage of today's game and all Pac-10 football action. Check out the sports section in tomorrow's Daily News.
Could have been delay of game. Someone could have jumped, and of course no one didn't know it, so the play continued, and it was delay of game.
Okay, so 3rd and 15. Pittsburgh beats South Florida 43-14 to clinch the Big East Championship and a spot in a BCS Bowl, probably the Fiesta. Virginia Tech has won the ACC, knocking off Miami in Miami, 16-10 at the Old Orange Bowl. Louisville leads Tulane in the Conference USA Final 41-0. Louisville going for a big season. Only lost once to Miami in a game they led by like 17 in the 4th quarter. Otherwise, Louisville would be undefeated with Boise State and Oklahoma and Utah and USC and Auburn.
Some good teams out there.
Hooray for the BCS.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray. 3rd and 15.
They keep thinking it's going to get easier.
Well, years from now, we're going to look back on this and just laugh that it was such a silly system and we couldn't figure it out earlier than this, and finally we got the playoff and blah, blah, blah. Well,
Final Four is pretty much fun in basketball.
Yeah, it really is. Hold everything. Referees jumping all over the place saying, stop the clock. 10:16 left in the first half. USC leading UCLA 10-0, and the Bruins have taken a timeout.
That's interesting.
We'll take a stoppage of play as well for these commercial announcements. 10:16 left in the half. 10-zip SC on the Trojan Radio Network.
Your feet are twitching. Pumping the gas, going for the brakes. Your son, the new driver, is at the wheel. He's doing fine, but you're having a hard time. Maybe you're not comfortable trusting all this to a cut-rate car insurance company. Maybe you should move up to a State Farm agent. You feel better about the coverage you need and the discounts available. Just having a State Farm agent might even calm those restless feet of yours.
Count on the insurance company more families with young drivers trust. Get yourself a State Farm agent. State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.
John Madden and Tom Brady here for Sirius Satellite Radio.
Hey, John, I gotta say, your cruiser rocks.
Yeah, I got a widescreen TV, surround sound.
But the Sirius Satellite Radio is the coolest thing.
I can listen to the entire NFL, no matter where I go.
Now get Sirius Satellite Radio for just $12.95 a month and listen to your favorite team every week, everywhere. Hardware sold separately. Terms, conditions, and activation fee apply. Visit Best Buy, Circuit City, Crutchfield.com, Radio Shack, or Sirius.com for details. The NFL is a registered trademark of the National Football League.
Now I never have to leave the cruiser.
John, that's why Sirius makes a boombox.
For over 30 years, the big three U.S. automakers have used Chevron gasoline exclusively to help them pass the tough EPA emissions test. And recently, Chevron with Techron became the first gasoline certified to meet Toyota, Honda, BMW, and GM's tough new top-tier detergent gasoline standard. And it did it without having to change its formulation. So if you want top-quality gasoline, copy an automaker and fill up with Chevron.
You're listening to USC Trojan football on 1540 The Ticket.
10:16 to go first half. 10-0 SC. Sky Team, a proud sponsor of USC football. Sky Team and its 6 current members are here to get you where you want to go with over 7,000 daily flights to 500 destinations in 100 countries and growing. Sky Team makes life easier for you. Visit skyteam.com for more information. Trips right for the Trojans against UCLA. 3rd and 15 SC. 1 of 3 third downs. Motion away from our press box side for Mitchell, joining Jarrett on the far side. Bush the one back to pass Leinart. Throws as he's hit and underthrown because he was hit when he threw the ball. They got to Leinart, didn't sack him, but threw it. Fred Matua sitting on the ground, going to be very slow to get up, and the Trojans will have to punt once again.
3rd and 15, difficult to convert for anybody, even the Trojans on offense. Good pressure on a little stunt. C.J. Nusulu came around from his right, went left, and a little twist inside by the defensive tackles. No Trojan to pick up Nusulu, and he hit Leinart as he was throwing the football. Nice job of that series by the Bruin defense on the Trojans.
Tom Malone in to kick, 44 yards per punt, 11 kicks of 50 yards or better, including this one. Bragg watches it, catches it unwisely at the 5, steps back up, though, to the 10, and has some room. Over the middle, there he goes. Malone, the only guy that can catch him. And he won't at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown UCLA, 95 yards after the great punt by Tom Malone. And the Bruins are right back in the football game.
He outkicked his coverage, Pete. Just a boomer of a punt by Tom Malone, 58 yards. And you would think it was unwise. You typically say do not catch the ball when it's inside the 10, but the Bruins have to make a play. This is the best play by far of the Bruins, and it's a big one for 7 by Craig Bragg. Just out-kicked the coverage. Too many holes in that punt coverage, and the Bruins pretty good on punt return. 2nd in the Pac-10, 20th in the country, 13.5 per return. Craig Bragg, big play on the return for the Bruins, getting them on the board.
Justin Medlock for the extra point, which is up and perfect. And we've got a good ball game going on all of a sudden. 9:51 to go in the first half. The score, SC 10, UCLA 7. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
Aloha Airlines offers convenient daily nonstop service to Hawaii from John Wayne and Burbank airports with in-flight service that's second to none. Each trans-Pacific flight includes Hawaii regional cuisine by award-winning chef Alan Wong, fresh-baked cookies with milk, complimentary Mai Tais, and free entertainment. To make reservations or find out about fare specials, visit AlohaAirlines.com, call 1-877-TRY-ALOHA, or contact your travel agent. Finally, there's some good news in the air. Aloha Airlines.
I can't hold on much longer. Just hang on. I'm almost there. I'm losing my grip. No, wait, please. Coming undone. Here, grab hold of the end. I got it. Now, quick, tie it. It's done.
Cool. Wow, looks great.
Yeah, she's gonna love it.
Tying a giant bow on a Lexus is never easy, but purchasing the Lexus of your loved one's dreams is. At the Lexus December to Remember sales event, you'll find the best values of the year whether you buy or lease on the ultra-luxurious LS, the uncompromising ES, the powerful GX, or the advanced RX.
Wait, it's coming loose! I got it.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now to January 3rd, only at your Southern California Lexus dealer, or visit Lexus.com.
The Trojans are on SoCal's official football station, 1540 The Ticket.
The longest punt return in UCLA history, 95 yards, bettering the record set by Kermit Alexander against Stanford of 94 yards. And Craig Bragg does it and gives UCLA a touchdown. They're only of the game. They haven't moved the ball at all on offense, but special teams will do it, and it's 10-7. USC still has the lead.
That's an often overlooked part of the game. Special teams is a third of the game. Craig Bragg is the big player for the Bruins, one of them anyway. 20 career TDs and 11 greater than 40 yards, and now make that 12.
Kick is a squibber, picked up by Reggie Bush of the Trojans at the 8, and up the left side he goes to the 32-yard line, where the Trojans will start off. Eric McNeil shadowing him. The longest punt against USC in history, Huey McElhaney in 1951 for Washington, tying the NCAA record with a 100-yard punt return against USC. You're not supposed to catch the ball back there, are you?
Thought Reggie Bush was going to do something with that one. Remember last year, it was back-to-back. Wasn't it back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdowns?
Yeah, Drew came back.
Right? Reggie did one, and then Drew came back.
Yeah, that was exciting.
That was, and there, Reggie Bush trying to mirror image Craig Bragg's dramatic touchdown on the punt for 95 yards.
Jarrett left, McFoy to the right, Way to the right, Steve Smith backs in the eye, Kurtman and Lendale White. 1st and 10 Trojans at the USC 32. Leinart shirks away from a would-be sack, dumps it to Lendale White, who manages to get some yards out of it up to the 35-yard line. Leinart should have been sacked, got away from that, and able just to kind of hand it really to Lendale White for a 3-yard pickup. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Trojan Radio Network.
AMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Stick with The Ticket all week long for Trojan News First and SoCal's best sports talk.
Trojan football brought to you by Westside Volvo in Culver City. Westside Volvo, where you always get safety, savings, and satisfaction. One back for the Trojans is Reggie Bush. 2nd down and 7 from their own 35. Leinart, deep drop. Throws over the middle, coming against the grain. Jarrett tried to run before he caught it, dropped it. Had it, took a step, bobbled it, couldn't hang on. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Pete, and after the first 2 series where the Trojans seemed unstoppable, they really have come a little bit unglued. The Bruins are playing very conservatively on defense. They're not playing man coverage because they don't want to get beat deep for big plays. They're trying to keep everything in front, and Matt Leinart doing the right thing, getting completions, but you got to make those catches. And Dwayne Jarrett just simply dropped one right in his hands. Now you got another 3rd and 8, 3rd and long.
Pretty rare for Jarrett lately.
Yeah. No, lately he's been playing just outstanding, and maybe early in the season, but got to catch that in this situation.
And you couldn't be surprised if they go right back to him. Jarrett wide right, Smith slotted on the right side. Bird comes in motion this way. Bush the one back. Leinart drops to throw. Finds a Bird at the 35, and he dives out to the 40, but that's not enough. That's short of a first down by a couple of yards, and the Trojans will kick it back to the Bruins, who will have the ball and a chance to take the lead, trailing 10-7.
This is the same defense that the Trojans play. They bring a lot of corner blitzes. They bring backers, but they do zone blitz. So you also have this umbrella look, and there on this play, again, they bring Trey Brown from the backside. Bush holds them, but doesn't get the flag, and Leinart was able to get it off to Dominic Bird, but Bird didn't get the first.
Malone will kick, almost the same situation as last time, with Bragg waiting at about the 15-yard line, and the punt is blocked. Malone chasing it, he picks it up, trying to get rid of the ball, but can't, and he's sacked back at the 18-yard line. And this Bruin crowd is going crazy as they sense what is starting to happen here in the second quarter, as Malone has his punt blocked, and the Bruins have it 1st and 10 at the Trojan 18-yard line.
Another huge special teams play, and Tom Malone is disgusted, throwing his helmet down the sidelines. Right up the middle, Chris Horton comes right up the gut, goes right by Colin Ashton, who's snapping the football. No one, untouched. Nobody blocks him. Nobody blocks him. Oscar Lewis went to his left. Horton went to the other side. No one to block. Chris Horton, no chance for Tom Malone, and another big turnover, like a turnover, punt block for the UCLA Bruins.
Olsen goes to work, back to pass, waiting, rolls right, sack from behind. Eric Wright came in from the corner, came up with the football too, but they'll say that Olsen was down and a sack back at the 27-yard line. The Trojans come up with a big defensive play right out of the chute. They're already in Justin Medlock field goal territory to try to tie it up. Medlock with a 50-yarder earlier this year, and certainly is in that situation right now.
And Pete Carroll not sitting back and saying, oh, woe is me. They blocked the punt, coming right at the Bruin offense with another corner blitz. They can play the same game. He invented the deal with Monty Kiffin, of course. Eric Wright coming and sacking Drew Olsen early.
Taylor and Perry left, handoff up the middle and a couple of yards, and that's all to about the 22-yard line for Chris Markey. Lawrence Jackson will pull him down a 4-yard gain. Third and fairly long here, but again, they are in Medlock field goal land. It would be about a 40-yarder if they were to attempt it with no gain after this play.
And Medlock is 7 for 7 between 40 and 49. This guy's a great field goal kicker, 14 out of 17. Well within his range, as you indicated, Pete. The Trojan defense doing their job. They're one of the best defenses out there, obviously, but they're phenomenal on the changeover, on the turnaround. They come in and they stop those offenses on turnovers.
3rd and 13. Mercedes Lewis, tight end, is in. Olsen drops to pass, lobs one for the end zone, and it is overthrown, incomplete. Looking for Junior Taylor. A little bit of chippiness going on there with Eric Wright about the 10-yard line, but no flag was thrown by the field judge. 4th down, and here comes Medlock. Follow the Trojan season from start to finish by getting home delivery of the Sunday LA Times. For only $1 a week, you'll get the latest stats, scores, and more, as well as the convenience of having the Times delivered to your door. To subscribe, call 1-800-220-7373. It will be a 39-yard shot for Medlock, the sophomore from San Jose. Snap is back, places down. The kick is a little wide. It's very wide. Wide to the left, no good. And the Trojan lead stays intact at 10-7.
Wow, that wasn't even close. Well within his range. Pushed it off to the left big time. And that's a huge blow to the Bruins after they have a marvelous play by Chris Horton up the middle, blocking Tom Malone's punt. That doesn't happen very often at all. Malone's so good at getting the ball off, and they come away with nothing. That's got to empty that enthusiasm that they had on that Bruin sideline.
You may look back at that series right there as the chance the Bruins had to be in the ball game in just a short while.
Yeah, because if you kick that, you don't get a touchdown, you don't do anything on offense. But now it's ties 10-10. It's midway through the second quarter. Past that, you're thinking, hey, we can win this thing.
Bruins haven't done anything on offense, but they're still only down 10-7. Empty backfield, 3 receivers on the right side for Leinert. Throws to Bush behind some blockers. At the 20, out to the 30, steps back into the 35 and gets 13 yards for a USC first down. Reggie Bush, 71 on the ground, 15 punt return, 38 kickoff return, another 13 right there through the air, 137 yards. And we've got a flag after the play against USC.
A clip. That's yellow hanky on the ground there. And Norm Chow says, hey, let's get something going on offense. We have not moved the ball the last 3 series. We've got to do something and just get it out to Reggie Bush, and he'll make something happen. Good blocking downfield by the wide receivers. Pete Carroll's asking, who clipped? I thought that was good blocking.
Here's the call on the official.
Clipping offense, number 53. That's a 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
I can't remember very many clipping calls this year. Blocks in the back, up high, yeah, but not a clipping call this year.
I don't remember any. It's mostly blocking in the back, chop block, things of that nature, but a clip, that's an out-and-out clip. Screen pass out to Reggie Bush. Looking at the replay here, good blocking by Jason Mitchell and Steve Smith, and didn't pick it up. Didn't show on the replay.
So Smith and Mitchell go left. Jarrett right. 1st and 13 back at the 19. Trojans leading 10-7. 6:19 to go second quarter. And Leinert will hand the ball to the belly of Reggie Bush, and he's out to the 25, and Stutter steps to the 30 and gets away, and he's gone. He's at the 50, he's at the 40, they won't catch him. At the 20, the 10, the 5, Reggie Bush has done it again. 81 yards, and I'll tell you right now, the Bruins will have wished they would have scored on that series just a moment ago.
Talk about a demoralizer. Reggie Bush simply on an off-tackle play to his right side, and Nikola Dragovic is right there. Right there, and Bush reverses his field, goes to the left, and then he's gone. Unbelievable run by an unbelievable player, Reggie Bush.
If you're wearing blue, you might as well just get your car keys and head up the exits. Here it comes. The kick by Colleen is perfect. 6:03 to go in the half. And the Trojans up it now to 17-7. And if it hasn't started raining out of the sky, it's going to start raining on the field pretty soon here.
Yeah, just phenomenal athlete. That play was designed to go to the right. Reggie Bush couldn't go to the right because it was great defense by defensive end Nikola Dragovic. He reverses his field and goes all the way to the left side of the ball. Unbelievable play by Reggie Bush.
Paul, it comes to mind, Pete Carroll out on the field talking with one of the officials about something. It comes to mind that what Bush is doing here on national television, Matt Leinart is having a good day, but Bush is stealing some of those West Coast Heisman votes away from people, and that could hurt Leinart's Heisman
No doubt
campaign.
about that. And when you have two players on the same team, that happened to Miami, was it a couple years ago, I think, could very well happen to Matt Leinart. Reggie Bush, talk about a weapon. Just anywhere on the field, the guy can score at any position.
He's back next year, you know.
He's unbelievable. JJ, you got any comments about Reggie Bush has turned this game around for the Trojans?
Well, Paul, it's simply amazing. I know you're watching it from up high, but down here, I mean, he is just leaving the field, and you can't believe how fast he is. A lot of times we see, guys that have a good speed, they look like they pick up over the course of time. Well, his explosion is just second to none. I mean, Trojan fans need to enjoy him now because this is something special, something unique, something I've never seen before.
We're not going to see him here at the Rose Bowl against UCLA 2 years from now?
No. This guy would be a first-round pick this year's draft.
Wow.
No question about it. He's got 5 carries, 152 yards. How about a 30-yard average?
Hey, John, Pete Carroll is pretty livid at the officials down on the sideline. I wonder if you could find out from one of the assistants or somebody else. But he is not happy about something that's going on the field right now.
Well, I'm sure it had nothing to do with that last run, but I'll look into it.
Yeah, there's something going on, and it all happened down here at the 20, but he was yelling and throwing his arms around. He's pretty unhappy with whatever it was. The sun is shining here at the Rose Bowl now. So kind of a nice day has broken out amidst the clouds.
Talk about a momentum shifter. Number 5, Reggie Bush.
Kickoff away by Colleen into the wind, and this one will go into the end zone, but be brought out by Markey, his third effort. Up the middle, hit by Reed, but only knocked off balance. But no, there's a flag down after the play, and the kickoff return will be brought out to about the 24. Colin Ashton, the tackle. Let's see what the flag's going to be.
During the return, I've got holding number 49 blue. During the return.
There you go. We're not supposed to be able to hear that. Those are the two officials actually conferring with each other.
He had the mic on.
Well, there you go.
That's kind of fun, though. Actually, you could probably have a reality TV show, with officials. Just put the mic on, and that'd be kind of interesting.
I wonder if the Whitehead ever says, "You got to be kidding me. That's a horrible call." That'd be great.
Now he turned it off. He realized what he did.
Yeah.
We can't even hear him.
Now he turned it off, so he thinks it's on to the crowd, and
exactly.
he's making the announcement.
He's all confused.
It's backwards.
That happens sometimes. Yeah. Hey, Trojan Football is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. Thanks for designating a driver. Responsibility matters, Anheuser-Busch.
So the Trojans leading 17-7 and have the Bruins backed up to their own 12-yard line. The Bruins 3 and out 4 times, except for the fake punt. They have done nothing offensively in this football game. Their only points coming in a 95-yard Craig Bragg punt return. Maurice Drew in an offset eye to the left. Twin receivers right. Olsen throws out of the backfield a backwards pass to Drew, makes the catch, trying to outrun Rucker and doesn't. And then Sean Cody and Mike Patterson land on top of him at about the 11-yard line, maybe back to the line of scrimmage to the 12. Certainly no gain on the play. There's a dangerous play, a little backwards flip.
That deep in your own territory, throwing a lateral pass, and that was a little bit behind Drew. If Drew drops that ball, that's a live ball. Trojans can jump on it. You got to be really careful with that throw. Trojan defense. How fast is this Trojan defense? You got Sean Cody, Frosty Rucker, all the Trojans chasing down the line of scrimmage. No chance to outflank the Trojans because of their great speed.
And Drew doesn't have his giddy up that he usually has. Pitch back, Markey right side. Cody's waiting for him, and then he holds him up for Lawrence Jackson. And gang tackle by the Trojan defense back at the 6-yard line. It is oogie-oogie.
We talked about how good this UCLA offensive line is. That's the big difference. Tom Cable, offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, has brought to the table with these guys, allowing Drew Olsen time to throw, opening holes for these really good running backs for the Bruins. There are no holes open. There is no place to run. The front four for the Trojans is absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage on defense.
Here come the Bruins with a 3rd and 14 back at the 8. Markey, the one back. Don't think they're going to hand it to him, though. Olsen drops the pass, throws over the middle, complete. 15, out to the 20. First down to the 25, straight arm to the 30, and out to the 35 near the 40-yard line. Tad Perry, the 19th-year senior for UCLA at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 UCLA.
Tad Perry just ran a crossing route, lined up to the right side of the ball, and he was wide open over the middle of the field, outrunning Justin Wyatt. Good little natural pick play, little rough play. Inside receiver went up the field, and that allowed the separation with Justin Wyatt. Nice job, because I'll tell you, 5-step drop, the ball was gone. He was wide open over the middle. Good run and catch to get the first.
Did Perry not catch passes from Bob Waterfield here at one point? I mean, he's been around forever. Brandon Brazil in for UCLA, along with Junior Taylor. Backs in the eye. First down at the 38. Trojans had him backed up to the 8. A little flip over the middle. Whoop, Mike Patterson might have come in just a touch too soon. Touches ahead of the center, Mike McCloskey, the second-team pack-tender from Laguna Hills. And it'll be a pickup of 5, I think, on an offside against USC. Sure. That's one of the best plays for UCLA, other than that pass play right there.
You rarely see Mike Patterson do that. And as quick as he is off the ball, and as much anticipation as he has, how many times have we seen him offsides all season long? Maybe one other time, maybe?
Got to slow that guy down. Maybe that's what they're thinking in the UCLA huddle for Tom Cable, the former Fullerton assistant, who was head coach at Idaho until this year, and now Nick Holt, the Trojan assistant, is head coach there. 1st and 5. Olsen to throw, lobs one up the right side, and it is caught by the Bruins. Craig Bragg inside the Trojan 30-yard line, and pushed out of bounds by the cover man Justin Wyatt at the 27. And the Bruins are on the move for the first time today. 1st and 10, the SC 27-yard line.
And that is really a nice throw. It's press coverage by Justin White. He's very good in press coverage. Good move by Craig Bragg, but it's just a great throw. It's to his outside shoulder over the top of Justin Wyatt. Wyatt looks back. When he looks back, he looks to his left, and the ball came over his right shoulder, so he could not adjust in time. Great throw by Drew Olsen, best throw of the day.
Olsen, over 5,000 yards in his career, 6th on the all-time Bruin list. He's got another year to go. The problem with Olsen is he's 12-11 as a starting quarterback. Unlike Matt Leinart, who's 22-1. Pitch back, Markey at the 30, runs into the Trojans and gets thrown back by Darnell Bing, who's in from the safety spot, a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. Fan Sarah Sirius Satellite Radio gives you the entire NFL with exclusive NFL Sunday Drive. Listen to the NFL every week only on Sirius Satellite Radio.
What a play by Darnell Bing. You had fullback Michael Petrie leading the way. Great big guy at 232 pounds. Tried to block Darnell Bing. Darnell Bing just threw him to the side. To get out of my way. Made the tackle on Markey.
Bragg goes to the right, 2nd 11 at the SC 28. Handoff, Markey hit by Schweiger and pushed back after a gain of a couple to the 26. Trying to run in the center of this Trojan line is not an easy thing to do. It'll be make it 3rd and 9 at the 26. Drew negative yards, White negative yards, Olsen negative yards on the ground. Markey's got 4. And Walker on the fake punt has 11.
By far.
Don't stop running. Throw the ball.
Put Wesley Walker in there. It's 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. Another 3rd and long. Not an enviable position for Drew Olsen once again.
Manuel White in at tailback for the Bruins. The Bruins are up on 3rd down conversions this year as well, up to 43%, a full 10 percentage points better than last year. Olsen drops to throw over the middle. It is incomplete. Broken up nicely by Justin Wyatt at about the 10-yard line, intended for Bragg. It'll be 4th down, the long field goal possibility for Medlock, who knuckleballed one last time from closer than this. But he is, again, a very, very good kicker.
Picking on Justin Wyatt, and that time Craig Bragg had a step on Wyatt. The ball was just a little bit behind Bragg, not in front. It was back shoulder on a crossing route. It's a tough thing to catch, and Wyatt was able to get a paw in there and knock it out.
43 yards, center of the field, out of the hold of the punter, Chris Pluie. Snap is back. The kick is away. Has the distance, and he made it. So the Bruins get back to within a touchdown with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the half. The Trojans' lead is cut down to 17-10. Well, if he would have made that other one, the Bruins would have felt pretty good about life, tied up.
They made some big plays on offense there, though. I think they've got to be feeling much better about what they're doing after a quarter and a half drought of 3 and outs and no yards. Some big plays. Tab Perry crossing route, and of course the fade route to Craig Bragg. Drew Olsen's got to feel a little bit better about, hey, maybe we can do something against this great Trojan defense.
I'd like to welcome our affiliates on the Trojan Radio Network this season in their 7th year carrying Trojan football. Hot Talk 1230 KGEO in Bakersfield. Great to have you all year long. Team 1010 KXPS Palm Springs. KVEN The Boomer at 1450 AM in Ventura. ESPN Radio 800 in San Diego. KSZL 1230 AM in Barstow. 1140 AM in Vegas. KFSN KNTS 1220 AM in San Francisco. KSPA 1510 AM Ontario, Orange County. And our flagship 1540 The Ticket in Los Angeles. We're having a little party after the game at Clancy's Crab Broiler in Glendale on 1540 The Ticket. Everybody's welcome. Come on down. Be a great time. They got some of the best clam broth there. Oh, it's so good. Kick is low, line drive, bounce caught by Reed at the 11-yard line, and he's coming across this side of the field to the 30, pushes his blocker forward to the 40, to the 50, stutter step to the Bruin 40, and the kicker, Medlock, will finally bring him down by the helmet at about the Bruin 40-yard line. I was thinking during the break there, Paul, that the Trojans had 2 minutes and 50 seconds to traverse the long field in the 2-minute drill. And now they got a 48-yard return from Desmond Reed and have the ball at the 40.
You can't kick it to Mini-Me either. You got Reggie Bush, they got Mini-Me Desmond Reed, who's just as quick, or, well, no one's as quick as Reggie, but he's doggone quick. And
a different kind of quick.
The kick was perfect for Desmond Reed because he took one hop, went right to him, and there was a great deal of separation. Not enough time for that Bruin coverage team to get down. There was just too much room to navigate for Desmond Reed.
Matt Leinart at quarterback at the Bruin 40, up 17-10. Still anybody's ball game. Leinart looks over the middle of the field, finds Steve Smith at the 25, and he's dumped right there as he tried to get away. A pickup of 15, maybe 16 yards. Jared Page, the 3-year starter from San Leandro in the Bay Area, makes the tackle. 1st and 10 Trojans at the UCLA 24-yard line.
Trojans are thinking touchdown. They got to capture this game back now. The Bruins got a little momentum. Now 17-10. Come right out. Play action pass, a little bootleg on a crossing route to Steve Smith. Nice tackle in open field by Jared Page.
Get one quick. You could hold the Bruins, get a second one.
Absolutely.
Yep. 1st and 10 at the 24. Jarrett and Smith go to the left. Backs in the offset left. Bird, the tight end, strong right. Hash mark right at the Bruin 24. Hand off to White. Right up the middle, has a hole. It closes up, but not before White gets to the 20, down to the 19 almost. Spencer Havener. He's from Nevada. That's career tackle number 300 for Havener in his career, and he's only a junior.
Oh, yeah. No, this guy's a player. He's number 1 in the Pac-10. 119 tackles this year.
82 last year.
I know. Yeah. I mean, he is the guy that makes tackles for them. Nice job of filling them inside, following Lendale White through the hole. Good tackle by Spencer Havener.
2nd down just across the 20-yard line, inside the 20. Crunch formation, 3 receiver right side, 1 back is White. Now Leinart changes up the signal with 1.5 minutes to go in the half. Leinart pumps once, looks back against the grain, throws, catch by Bush inside the 20, fumble the football, picked up by the Bruins. Was he at what the linesman saying? Run the clock. What the heck is that?
I heard the whistle on the field. That's a fumble.
Should have been a fumble.
That
should be the
is
Bruin ball.
a fumble. He did not go. He wouldn't be moving his arm in a circular motion saying keep the clock moving unless it was a tackle.
Forward progress had been stopped is in essence what he's saying.
Oh, the Trojans got away with one there.
Well,
early quick whistle. A quick whistle.
Ruling on the field is forward progress has been ruled.
Forward progress has been stopped. Let's see it on the replay.
Will be 3rd down.
Right now.
Good
catch.
Good grasp. Forward progress. I'll tell you what, he was going down. That's a bad call. I got to tell you, the Trojans got lucky there, and Bruins got very unlucky.
And they're booing, and well, they should. I think Trojan fans are not exactly cheering the call. Really. Kind of sheepishly doing so. It was a bad call. Leinart waits for the snap. At the 17, in trouble, sack, back at the 25. 4th down for the 25-yard line. Matt Clark got in. Coverage sack there for the Bruins. The Trojans will trot the field goal unit back on as the clock runs with under 30 seconds next snap of the ball. Let's see, the play clock has not been set yet, so the Trojans could run this down and kick this field goal with no time left in the half. The play is now set, and they should wait, shouldn't they? Should they not? Leave the Bruins with 0 time left.
Yeah, plenty of time, but the kicker's there, the line's up, they're going to snap it.
From the 33, a 43-yarder from the center of the field. Snap a little high, but Malone gets it down. The kick is a wobbler, high, long, and true. And the Trojans go back up by that 10-point margin with 9 seconds to go in the half. 20-10, and the Bruin fans booing because they know their team should not have given up those 3 points, and they're right.
They are absolutely right. A couple of ugly plays for the Trojans back-to-back. One, the fumble that was the no call by Reggie Bush, and then a sack on a corner blitz by Matt Clark. Good pressure on Leinart. Leinart didn't like what he saw down the field, but he didn't have time to really go to the secondary receiver.
Bush fumbles, generally speaking, when he's out in space by himself trying to make more yards after he's been hit.
No question, and that's the problem that he has. A lot of great backs, a lot of great players like Barry Sanders had the same issue. Let's go down to JJ. You got a comment on that one?
Well, there was no question that the ruling was the forward progress was stopped, but that was a quick whistle.
Yeah.
As quick as the whistle happened, that was the correct call, but the whistle was extremely quick. It probably should not have been blown at that time.
Did you ever find out what happened down there with Pete Carroll yelling at the refs?
No, I think that he's a little bit upset with the blocking. He thinks that they're holding on some of the returns in terms of for the UCLA Bruins, so he just wants the officials to keep an eye on that and try to draw some penalties.
All right. We should see a squibber here. Have we determined what's going on? As Ryan Killeen will kick off with 9 seconds left in the half. And he does a line drive it. Takes a couple of skip hops and is picked up at about the 8-yard line by Markey. And Markey runs into Thomas Williams and he downs him at the 25. A lot of hitting after the play. And with 2 seconds left in the half, the Bruins will have one play left. Reggie Bush on the second play from scrimmage, a 66-yard run. Ryan Killeen has kicked a couple of field goals. So has Justin Medlock, one of them for UCLA. Craig Bragg, a 95-yard punt return for the Bruins that got him within 10-7. But Bush, an 81-yard touchdown run. After a missed field goal. The Bruins missed a field goal. Then they blocked the Trojans' punt, got it at the 18, and then missed a field goal. And then Bush takes it 81.
10-point switch. Could have made the field goal, just pushed it off to the left. Not a good kick, and then Reggie Bush does the rest.
Olsen hands off to Markey. He's hit and thrown for a no gain at the 26, and we've come to the end of the half. Boy, there's a lot of action after the play. Jason Leach getting in it there with one or two of the Bruins afterwards. Now, the Trojans will wait and not cross the field while the Bruins go into their locker room. The Trojan coaches are holding them up. It used to be they just crossed paths here, and they'd have some nice things to say to each other, no doubt. And we'll wait and watch here and let you know if anything unusual happens. Now the Bruins go in, and now the Trojans will go across the field and go into their locker room. Halftime has come here to the Rose Bowl. The score USC 20, UCLA 10. We'll start our halftime activities after these messages on the Trojan Radio Network.
Trojans call us home, and so should you. This is 1540 The Ticket.
Join us for USC Insider every Tuesday between 7 and 8 p.m. live from Heritage Hall on the USC campus. Coach Pete Carroll talks football, and we take your calls right here on the USC Radio Network and 1540 The Ticket. Back at the Rose Bowl, USC leading UCLA at halftime by a score of 20-10. Pete Arbogast with Paul McDonald as USC and UCLA's bands are finishing up their halftime entertainment. Bill Conti, Academy Award-winning composer, being honored by UCLA, and he is actually directing the UCLA band in the singing of their fight song right now.
Oh, it's very festive out there on the field. The Battle of the Bands, that thing occurred. How'd it turn out?
Both are good, I'll give them that, but there's just a certain sound with the amount of players that come out, amount of musicians that are on the USC band, and the Spirit of Troy is a hands-down winner when it comes to the sound they can put out.
And it's a different type of sound, too, isn't it? Not just volume, but it's just a different...
It really has a different feel to it. Yeah. So that's all done, and the teams are still back up in the locker rooms getting ready to come back out. Remind you that Sky Team and its 6 members are here to get you there. With over 7,000 flights to 500 destinations in 110 countries, Sky Team makes life easier for you. Sky Team, caring more about you, and a proud sponsor of Trojan football. Visit skyteam.com for more information. Our Chevron High Performance first play of the first half, brought to you by Chevron with Techron, first to be qualified as top tier with detergent gasoline by GM, Honda, BMW, and Toyota. Chevron with Techron raising the bar on performance. Which Reggie Bush run would you like? I think the second one, because it set the stadium alive on that second play of the game.
I think so. The first one was kind of like people were just getting settled in their seats, and the second one, after the momentum, UCLA they sort of grasped the momentum, and then Reggie Bush just snatched it back. I think that one.
We invite you to stay with the Trojan Radio Network tonight as the men's basketball team will be facing BYU this evening at the Sports Arena with a tip-off time of 7:30 and our airtime on the Trojan Radio Network at 7 o'clock with Rory Marcus and Jim Hefner calling the play-by-play. I got the book, the USC-UCLA rivalry from Lonnie White, the former Trojan.
He told me about that. I'm sure it's good.
It looked quite good. I just was able to
flip it,
browse through it real quickly. And we're going to go down quickly to John Jackson, I do believe, as he's going to have head coach Pete Carroll with him right now. We'll talk about that book in a second. Go ahead, JJ, if you got him.
Hey, Coach. Got to wait 1 second.
All right, he's running away from the UCLA players so he doesn't get stuck there, and they're running across the field, and so now they're set up at about the 20-yard line, and John will chase him down here.
Coach, first of all, the first half, you're obviously up by 10 points. Offensively, played extremely well, especially Reggie Bush. What did you tell them at halftime to maintain the focus? Because they played exceptional first half.
That we need to play like champions in the second half. We need to go out and just do what we always do, play football. We know you can't win the game in the first half, but now we need to play real well for 2 more quarters, and we've done what we needed to do today. They're really excited. I'm a little worried about how jacked up they are, so we're trying to really play within ourselves and do things right the whole half.
Good deal. You heard it. The intensity is definitely there. Back to you, Pete.
Never worry about being too jacked up. Never worry against UCLA.
Well, but you can't. If you're too excited, you want to try and make a play and you forget what you're supposed to do. I mean, you chase the runner from wherever you're at, and that's not the nature of the Trojan defense, but they do seem a little jacked, a little high, flying out of that tunnel here, running to the sidelines, because they want to own this game here in the second half, and that's the nature of Trojan football. That's the nature of Pete Carroll football.
We're mentioning that book by Lonnie White, a great Christmas gift idea for Trojan fans in your life, as the Trojans take the field right now.
Desmond Reed's carrying the flag, running about 50 yards with the flag, and waving it in the end zone. He's having a great time.
And firing up the Trojan fans in the end zone to our left, the northern end zone at the Rose Bowl. I brought that book up because there was a picture of USC's basketball team back in the early 70s, of Bob Boyd in the huddle, and there's Jim Hefner looking about 20 in the huddle looking up. And now a voice of the USC Trojans on the basketball broadcast. Women's basketball tomorrow at the Sports Arena against Loyola Marymount at 2 o'clock. And our congratulations to the women's volleyball team, the defending back-to-back champions, who defeated both College of Charleston and Kansas State in the last 2 nights at the Lions Center in the NCAA playoffs in the first and second round, and will advance to the NCAA Sweet 16 in an effort to win a 3rd consecutive NCAA championship. Best of luck to the women of Troy in women's volleyball. Trojan Halftime has been brought to you by Westside Volvo in Culver City. Westside Volvo, you always get safety, savings, and satisfaction. Lindale White, 8 carries, 33 yards. Reggie Bush, 6 carries for 152, and those 2 long TDs. Steve Smith has caught 3 for 23. Jarrett, 5 for 47. Nobody else with more than 2. The UCLA just negative yardage on the ground. And through the air, not much. 75 yards altogether. 4 for 9 for Olsen. 1 for 34 for Bragg and 1 for 30 for Perry, and everybody else is pretty low on the chart as far as statistics are concerned. The last Trojan loss here at the Rose Bowl, 1998. The Trojans are 27-16 all-time on this field, 34-16 all-time in this city, and 21-8, of course, in the January 1st Rose Bowl game itself.
Look at the defense on the sideline, Pete, doing a little dance in a huddle. Defensive lineman, you got Jason Leach is in the mix there, several other players there. They are fired up on defense. They know that if they get a 3-and-out, that means the Trojan offense is going to have great field position here, and to take it in and put some points on the board, set the tone for the rest of this game, and that's what their objective is on that Bruin offense.
Markey and Perry back to receive the kick, and they're going to Markey exclusively today, as the kick is 6 or 7 yards deep in the end zone and will be brought out for a touchback. And the UCLA will start off at the 20-yard line. Last time these teams met in December, World War II had just ended, 1945. Although there were some games in December in the early days. And in 1939, a very special one, a 0-0 tie, maybe the most famous tie in this series history and in USC history. The Bruins had the ball inside the 5-yard line with a 1st and goal at the end of the game. If the Bruins kick a field goal, they win the game, they go to the Rose Bowl for the first time ever. They got a 4th down at the 5-yard line and said, no, we're going for the touchdown. It was knocked away by Bobby Robertson, the SC All-American, and the Bruins settled for the 0-0 tie and did not go to the Rose Bowl. Manuel White is the running back, but a quick flip pass caught. Right side, Craig Bragg across the 25 to the 27-yard line. A gain of 7, tackled by Justin Wyatt. It'll be 2nd down and 3 as Olsen starts off with a completion to begin the second half. My dad was a program salesman at the Coliseum that day at the age of 11, I think, maybe 12.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
And the rivalry continues. That time it was a pass to Craig Bragg. Little confusion and miscommunication between Craig Bragg and Drew Olsen. Olsen thought he was going to go down the field. Bragg kind of hesitated, but he threw it anyway because there was enough cushion on Justin Wyatt, and he was able to get the completion in there. 5
defensive backs for the Trojans. Olsen will throw again, complete to the 31, 32-yard line. And it's Mercedes Lewis, the tight end out of Long Beach Poly, just a junior, with his 64th career catch at the 32. That's enough for a Bruin first down. 1st and 10 UCLA.
The Bruins have to get Marcedes Lewis in the mix. He has 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 12.8 yards per catch. But he's got the kind of size, speed, and athleticism that can make plays for this Bruin offense. And obviously the Bruins deciding coming out here, hey, we got to throw the ball against these guys. Let's make some quick throws, get the ball out of my hand, and move the sticks down the field because we can't run a lick against this Trojan defense.
Olsen, handoff this time, and a gain of a couple of yards to the 34-yard line. Manuel White, Dallas Sartz with the tackle for the Trojans. First time we've called his name on a tackle position today. 2nd down and 8 for UCLA from their own 34. Just the start of the second half, 20-10, USC leading UCLA.
Nice tackle by Dallas Sartz on a big back. Manuel White. Bruins really missing, Pete, I think, Maurice Drew. Maurice Drew not 100%. He's got the bad ankle. And slow him down a step, and therefore that Trojan defense can catch up to him. But I'll tell you what, it's a superb penetration in the first half by the Trojan defense. So it doesn't matter really who you are at running back. Not much chances, not many holes to run through.
2nd and 8, Lewis goes away in motion. Trojans showing corner blitz. Here comes Wyatt, but Olsen unloads it over the middle, complete to the 39-40. And dragging Trojan tacklers out to the 44 is Bragg. Tupu had a hold of his shirt and wouldn't let him go to help the rest of the fellow Trojan defenders make the tackle, but not before another gain out to the 44 and another UCLA first down. Short stuff. Get taking the short stuff.
Nice protection. It is short. The ball's coming out. A little natural pick. You run Marcedes Lewis up the field, and then underneath, coming from the outside, slipping underneath Marcedes Lewis, you have Craig Bragg. A little in route, natural rub pick play. Nice throw and catch.
Handoff. White hit by Jackson, tackled from behind and pulled forward a couple of yards to the 46, gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Southern California Lexus dealers, proud sponsors of Trojan football and the USC-UCLA Lexus Gauntlet. Crosstown rivalry, your Lexus dealer pursuing perfection. 2nd and 8, Bruins.
It's a very nice opening drive by the Bruins, moving the ball out to the 46-yard line, their own territory, but mostly passes, running enough to keep the Trojans off balance. That will work as long as they're in 2nd or 3rd in medium to short situations. Here, 2nd and 8. See if the Trojans try and get some pressure on Drew Olsen coming with a blitz.
First Markey in the backfield. Brandon Brazil motion away, leaving Joe Cowan on his press box side on 2nd and 8. And a delayed reverse handoff to Brazil, who comes around this side, gets to the 50, and tackled to the Trojan 48-yard line by Jason Leach. And Dallas Sartz looked like he got up very slowly and might have been hurt on the play, but he's walking slowly back to the huddle. A 3rd down, a big 3rd and 3 coming up for UCLA at the Trojan 48-yard line.
Trojans are so fast, it's very rare we can get him on a gimmick play. Here's a reverse. Got Frosty Rucker. He was chasing the running back, but then you hand off to Brazil, and actually Drew Olsen tried to block Dallas Sartz. Sartz made a diving effort to get to Brazil and kind of hurt himself a little bit. It looked like it might have been a shoulder or something. He's coming off the field.
And so the Trojans go with a 2 linebacker set at 5 DBs on a 3rd and 2. Manuel White in there, but it'll be a throw for Olsen as he throws long and overthrown. Marcedes Lewis was all alone at the Trojan 25-yard line. Nobody within 5 yards of him, but Olsen overthrew him.
You cannot miss these kind of opportunities. Marcedes Lewis is simply running a corner route. The Trojans looks like they had confusion on the coverage, and he just overthrew him. Got a little antsy on the throw. Not too much pressure on Drew Olsen. Dropped back in the pocket. Just a corner route. Went right by Darnell Bing. Darnell Bing in the wrong coverage, or somebody was. You got to make those throws. Oh, yeah, you got to make those throws. You don't have that many times. You got a guy wide open down the field.
Kluwe will punt. Carlson waiting. High wobbler. Boy, he does kick it high when he wants to. Carlson makes the catch sure-handedly at the 13.5-yard line. And we've got a break after the 30-yard punt. No return. 11:20 to go. 3rd quarter. Trojans still leading by the same margin they had at the break. 20-10 USC over UCLA. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
At Budweiser, for as long as we've been brewing beer, we've been finding new ways to get it to you at its freshest. And now, we're taking freshness to the next level. Day Fresh beer from Budweiser. It's beer bottled less than 24 hours ago, and our Day Fresh beer crew is bringing it to bars and nightclubs in select cities everywhere. So, look for them and your chance to try beer at its absolute freshest. Day Fresh beer from Budweiser. Because fresh beer tastes better. Budweiser beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Hey,
can't stop now. This is training. This is where you do all the hard work. So on game day, you can go the distance. Now, just grab that bottle of Gatorade and put back that sweat you left behind on that weight bench. Then you'll have more of what you need to go on and finish this workout. That's it. 10 more. 9 more. And when you're done, wipe off that bench. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Children are precious. When they're sick or hurt, we want the best care for them. For more than a century, Children's Hospital Los Angeles has helped heal children who are suffering from serious disease and injury. Its physicians are recognized leaders. Its treatments set the standard of care. Its research is recognized worldwide. And it's one of America's premier teaching hospitals affiliated with USC's Keck School of Medicine for more than 72 years. Children's Hospital Los Angeles, a world leader in pediatric and adolescent health.
Stick with the ticket for SoCal's best sports talk. 1540 The Ticket.
Gain the home field advantage for complete coverage of today's game and all Pac-10 football action. Check out the sports section in tomorrow's Daily News. Trojans leading UCLA 20-10, 11:20 left, third quarter. The sun out. Has been so since the middle of the second. We've had some clouds come through, but that storm is apparently still waiting to come into Southern California later tonight and early tomorrow. Trojans ball at their own 14-yard line. Matt Leinart hasn't thrown a touchdown pass today. He has done so in every single game in which he has started, and the Trojans are 23-1 in those games. He did throw enough passes today to pass number 4 Brad Otten in the number 4 spot on the all-time Trojan pass attempts list. Leinart, handoff, right side, Lendale White, big hole, right side, 20, 25, out to the 30 to the 31-yard, running and churning those legs, out to the 32, a gain of 18 and a 1st and 10, USC Lendale White.
When you play cover 2, and Norm Chow's up in the press box, obviously seeing everything as we are seeing it, the Bruins are being very conservative on defense. They're trying to keep the Trojans in front of them. Let the front 7 make plays. The secondary 2 safeties, you got 2 hard corners, and that really takes away the deep throws to a certain extent. That's when you want to run the football. This could be a half for Lendale White if the Bruins continue doing that. Give the ball to Lendale White and have him run downhill.
Mitchell and Smith left, Jarrett right, 1 running back set, 1st and 10 SC on the right hash mark, UCLA or SC 32, handoff to White again. Tries the left side this time, and not nearly the success, only a yard gain. Justin London disrupts that play. It'll be a 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Trojans.
And Aaron Whittington was there. He was in a battle with Wesley Walker to start at camp, and Walker got the nod, but Whittington definitely plays. Both those guys in the mix. And that time, not the yardage you'd like to see. 2nd and long. Norm Chow really coming out of character in this game. A lot more runs than passes. He wants to throw the football as much as anything and then open it up for the running game.
Jarrett to the left. Play action for Leinart. Spins around. Throws long over the middle of the field. Steve Smith in stride if he can get to it, but he can't. Would have had a touchdown. Overthrown at the UCLA 25-yard line. He had his man beat by about 3 yards. Jared Page had been beaten, and Smith just not quick enough to get to that one. Not quite enough air under it.
The Trojans love to run this play, and that's a great time to do it. When you're close to midfield, they're on their own 33, not quite there at midfield, but play action pass, you get the safety to bite. The safety did bite, and Justin London was trying to get back to the middle of the field, and he was the guy trying to get deep, but Steve Smith ran right by him. You can't keep up with Steve Smith if you're the inside linebacker. Leinart just simply overthrew him, Pete.
Trojans only 1 of 6 on 3rd downs today. This one is 3rd and 9 from their own 33. McFoy, who hasn't been heard from today, and Smith to the right, who ought to be huffing and puffing after that long run, and Jarrett to the left. Dropping to pass, Leinart steps up, sacked back at the 25. They got him. Kevin Brown, the first one to make the contact. Brown from Long Beach Poly, just a sophomore, and the Trojans will have to punt.
And Kevin Brown's been in the backfield a couple of times, and aggravating Matt Leinart there. He got to him before he could get the ball away. Good pressure by Kevin Brown, and I think the whole pocket really kind of collapsed a little on him. He had defensive end Kyle Morgan was there also. So good pressure by the Bruin defense on that one.
Brown with his 2nd sack of the day. The Bruins and Trojans each have 2. Malone had his last punt blocked, not this one, and he kicks it high, just like Kluwe did. High wobbler, caught by the Bruins at the 26-yard line, and Bragg stuffed right there by John Walker and Terrell Thomas, among others. Timeout on the field. 9:27 left, 3rd quarter. Trojans still lead the Bruins 20-10. Still a ball game on the Trojan Radio Network.
Aloha Airlines offers convenient daily nonstop service to Hawaii from John Wayne and Burbank airports with in-flight service that's second to none. Each trans-Pacific flight includes Hawaii regional cuisine by award-winning chef Alan Wong, fresh-baked cookies with milk, complimentary Mai Tais, and free entertainment. To make reservations or find out about fare specials, visit AlohaAirlines.com, call 1-877-TRY-ALOHA, or contact your travel agent. Finally, there's some good news in the air. Aloha Airlines.
Ahern Reynolds is proud to be associated with the Trojans of USC. Just like USC, Ahern Reynolds has tradition. Our tradition is in providing quality rental equipment for over 50 years through our experienced and trained staff of employees. We have 9 locations in Southern California to serve you, our customers. Every employee at Ahern Reynolds would like to personally thank each customer for their continued support and to the USC Trojans for allowing Ahern Reynolds to be part of their team.
Hey, season ticket holders, when you buy a ticket package, you're paying for every game of the season, even the ones you can't make. Don't pay for games you don't see. Sell your extras instead on StubHub.com. Started by a kid who grew up with Lakers season tickets, StubHub is the #1 site to sell tickets in LA and nationwide. So, you have extras. Go to StubHub.com and post your Trojans tickets, Dodgers tickets, Lakers tickets, whatever. You get cash and other fans get into the game. To sell your tickets, visit StubHub.com today or call 1-866-STUBHUB.
StubHub! Hear every USC game here on the Trojan Station, 1540 The Ticket.
9:27 left in the third, 20-10 USC leading. Bruins ball coming up. Not before we pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Trojan Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Hear Coach Pete Carroll every Tuesday at 7 on the USC Insider Show, only on The Ticket.
Cowan left, Brazil to the right, throw, back against the grain, trying to find Joe Cowan from St. John Bosco, but it was well behind him. And a good sliding grab try, but still a little bit too far behind him. Incomplete pass, second and 10. Trojan football brought to you by Aloha Airlines. Get low fares to Reno from Orange County on Aloha Airlines. Enjoy convenient departures from less congested airports. For fare specials, visit AlohaAirlines.com.
And Drew Olson, 7 of 14 for 92 yards after that incompletion. Just missed them. It was wide open. A lot of guys down the field for the Bruins in blue shirts with some separation. Threw that one way behind Joe Cowan. No chance to make the catch.
Taylor Wright fumble on the play. Drew Olson lands right back on it for a loss of a couple of yards. And Sean Cody lands right on top of him for a potential sack, depending on how the statisticians look at those things. So it'll be 3rd and 12 back at the 24-yard line.
Crowd getting a little restless now. Miss throw, then you got a fumble snap. Now it's 3rd and long. You know, not a good situation for the Bruins to be in. And Drew Olson missed the throw to Mercedes Lewis. That would have been a touchdown that would have put the Bruins down only by 3. Missed him. A wide open guy. Then he just missed another throw. So he's a little bit out of sync here in the second half.
Bruins stink at third downs as well. They're 1 for 8.
Yeah.
3rd down and 12, and lots of motion everywhere. And the Trojans pointing, and the Bruins moving, and the flags flying, and the Bruins backing up. It'll be 3rd and 16. From the 19-yard line. We will play again on Championship Saturday next year, December the 3rd at the Coliseum against UCLA. Right now, the Trojans have the same thing the Bruins had this year, that 3-week break from November the 12th to December the 3rd. But
unless they get a game in
there.
Well,
the bye right now is scheduled. The to-be-announced game is supposedly after the Hawaii game, which is the first game, but I think that's going to get moved to November the 20th, which will keep
an extra week in Hawaii.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Olsen to pass on 3rd and long, throwing for Mercedes Lewis, but he throws it well out of bounds, and Lewis throws a little bit of an arm at Darnell Bing and knocks him down, and the Bruins will have to punt the football away, and time's starting to become a bit of an issue for UCLA.
Good series by the Trojan defense there, and again, excellent coverage by Darnell Bing. Wanted to go to Mercedes Lewis up top. No chance. Did not fool Bing and just simply threw it out of bounds.
As is the case with so many of these guys. They played either against each other or, in that case, Lewis and Bing with each other in high school.
Long Beach Poly. Oh, they know each other extremely well. And I know the Trojan Long Beach Poly grads were all upset that Mercedes Lewis defected to UCLA.
4th and a bunch, and Cluey will kick, and Reggie Bush is waiting for this one. And it's a low one, and Bush will have a chance to return it as he makes the catch. Gets away once, gets away twice, still on his feet to the 44, and gets about a 4-yard return. I had thought for a moment that he had called for a fair catch, but apparently that wasn't the case. A 36-yard punt and a 4-yard return.
And Dennis Keys had a clean shot at him twice and missed.
We'll take a break with 8:23 left in the third quarter. The score remaining USC 20, UCLA 10. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
Out of the way, everybody on the road. This car of yours is brand spanking, sticker still on the window new. It's too good for this road, too good for that parking lot. It's way too good for that cut-rate car insurance company of yours. Time to move up to a State Farm agent. Someone you can count on to help protect this dream machine. Who'll help you get the right coverage at the right price. Hey, in the van, you're getting a little close.
Life gets better, shouldn't your car insurance company? Talk to a State Farm agent today. State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.
How did they know? How did Mercedes-Benz know that driving this new S500 would leave my wildest dreams in the dust? How did they know that the sheer power of the 5-liter V8 engine, the 7-speed touch-shift transmission, all of it, would actually quicken my pulse? How did they know that the hand-polished walnut wood trim and 12-speaker Bose surround sound system would become the standard by which our new family room would be judged? How did Mercedes-Benz know that? How did they know how good it would feel to go from envying an S500 owner to being an S500 owner? How did they know? Maybe they knew that around here, you have to love what you drive.
Visit your Mercedes-Benz dealer of Southern California for a test drive today.
The 17 Southern California Mercedes-Benz dealers have the right luxury convertible, coupe, sedan, or SUV for every Trojans fan. Test drive the Mercedes-Benz of your dream today at your nearby dealer or see them on the web at mbsocal.com.
I'm Pete Carroll, and this is the home of the Trojans, 1540, the ticket.
The Rose Bowl, the place, and the Trojans leading the Bruins 20-10 with 8:23 to go in the third. They've got the ball back now at their own 44-yard line. And we'll be checking in with our Aloha Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. Get low fares to Reno from Orange County on Aloha Airlines. Enjoy convenient departures from less congested airports. For fare specials, visit AlohaAirlines.com. Bush in the backfield. Jarrett goes in motion away. Leinert might be changing things up slightly. Pumps once, throws. Jason Mitchell is there. Can he get it? Diving try. Yes. Nice catch. Jason Mitchell with his catch of the year at the Bruin 26-yard line. And a 1st and 10 USC. He had to stretch out for that one.
The Trojans flood the zone to the right by putting Dwayne Jarrett in motion. You got 3 trips to the right and single man-on-man coverage. Jason Mitchell against Trey Brown. He runs a slant and go. This ball is overthrown. There's no chance Jason Mitchell is going to make this catch. I don't know. He had another gear, and he laid out to make the catch on his fingertips. That's a great catch by Jason Mitchell.
Jarrett right. Herschel Dennis, the one back for the Trojans. Smith off to the left side. 1st and 10 at the Bruin 25. Leinert, quick drop. Throws. Little lob pass, and it's a diving try by Bird, and it's incomplete at the 5-yard line. Nikola Dragovic back defending Bird on the play at the 5-yard line. The guy that made that last play, Paul, Trey Brown, that was guarding Mitchell on that?
Yes.
That's Theodis Brown's son. Bigfoot? That's Bigfoot Jr.
Bigfoot. Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, is he pretty big? Yeah, he's a little guy. He's 5'10". Bigfoot was like 6'2", 235.
Bigfoot played for Pepper Rogers, and Pepper's in the booth right next to us on our right side.
Looks the same, a little grayer, but certainly the same look.
Talking about that 73 game where the Trojans broke the wishbone. UCLA was a pretty big favorite in that game, the year after the greatest team in college football history. The 72 undefeated team where the Trojans could tie that squad at 12-0. Leinert throws, Jarrett's open, and has it knocked away at the last second at the 5-yard line. Incomplete pass. Nice job by Theodis Brown Jr. Actually, he's the third, I guess, with his name being Trey. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 10 at the 25.
And there was a safety blitz by Jared Page. The play before, talking about Trey Brown, came with a corner blitz to Matt Leinert's backside, actually to his front side, but he was looking to his right, so he never saw Brown come, and that put some pressure. That's why he overthrew Dominic Bird. This time, he had pressure inside by Jared Page, hitting Matt Leinert right up in the mouth. He was trying to throw to Dwayne Jarrett, and that ball got deflected by Trey Brown.
Jarrett left, Smith and Mitchell right on 3rd and 10. Leinert throws the inside screen to Bush, gets away at the 25. I want to move at the 20-yard line, and he steps back into about the 17. What a great move by Reggie Bush. He was almost sideways. His whole body was leaned over sideways, and he still had his legs under him somehow.
No, bodies don't move like that. Human bodies don't move like that. He was going 100 miles an hour straight ahead, and all of a sudden he went sideways, and the body was contorted. Good move on, that was Eric McNeil, tried to make the tackle, and then Matt Clark came up, hit him low, and that was a good tackle in open space.
Colleen going for his third field goal of the day at the 25-yard line, a 35-yard effort. Snapper is Will Collins, the holder Tom Malone, who calls for it and gets it. The kick is away, high and end over end, and through the uprights against the net, and good again. And the Trojans have built their lead up to a not insurmountable 23-10, but still a little bit further out than it was before. 7:02 to go in the third quarter, and the Trojans leading by 13.
And how about Ryan Colleen down the stretch? The last week hitting 2, one from 39, one from 42. Had a 3 or 4 week bumpy road, to say the least, and stepping up down the stretch here, hitting 3 field goals in today's game against the Bruins.
Trojan football brought to you by Verizon, the official local and long-distance company of USC Athletics. Only 5 Pac-10 teams are going to go to bowl games, Paul. There's nobody else qualified. The Trojans, the Cal Bears, who are hoping to make it if they can beat Southern Miss tonight on the road at night in the South. That's not easy.
No, it's not.
But Cal's very, very good. I expect them to win that game.
They've had a long layoff, though, too. It'll be interesting to see how, they shake off the cobwebs.
Cal and Michigan should play here in the Rose Bowl.
Pete, it affects the offense more than anything because the offense is such a timing thing. Defense, you just go play and go make the tackle. But, JJ, you got a comment on that?
Well, I had a comment about Ryan Colleen and how you talk about how he's been on fire down the stretch. One thing that he was doing, he's saying he was getting the ball off too quickly. That means he's approaching the holder when Tom Malone puts the ball down a little bit too quickly and trying to hit a moving target. So he slowed it down a little bit, and that's the reason for some of the success.
Markey will have to take a knee in the end zone again, so the Bruins will start once again from the 20. Arizona State, Oregon State, and UCLA also going to bowls. Were the Bruins to come back and win this game, they would tie for third and could be chosen by the Holiday Bowl based on attendance to go down to San Diego. But otherwise it appears as though they're heading to Arizona to play Notre Dame in the Insight Bowl.
For the Sun.
Yeah. How did the Pac-10 get drawn into that one?
I don't know. You're right next to Juarez. That's all kinds of fun.
Yeah. The dog races. Juarez. 1st and 10 at the 20. Handoff. And the Bruins will get a yard, and then the Trojans push them back. Manuel White, Valencia High School Viking, played for Coach Brian Steinman, whose team is playing next Saturday at the Anaheim Stadium grounds, probably against Mission Viejo for the Division II CIF Southern Section Championship. They've got a great quarterback, and they're up there at Valencia by the name of Michael Herrick. He zings it around pretty good. Only a junior. He's going to be a highly recruited kid next year.
That's up in the valley. All those guys.
Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Like next to Hart. All those guys. There's something in the air up there. They just love to air it out.
Good football area, no doubt about it. 2nd down and 9, and Valencia won the league title up there for the first time this year. Olsen will throw, tipped, it appeared at the line, and incomplete. I think maybe Cody got his hand up there and deflected it and made it go a different direction than was originally intended. Mercedes Lewis was probably the intended receiver. Incomplete. 3rd and 9, and the Bruins continue to not do anything very well on offense.
I think Sean Cody got his body in there, and Drew Olsen saw that big body up the middle and said, oh my gosh, I don't want to fall through too much. Because his body was there, Drew Olsen stepped back, did not follow through, and that's why the ball sailed over the head of Mercedes Lewis.
Taylor left, Tab Perry right, slotted right Craig Bragg. Tight end Lewis sets up on the left side, then comes in motion this way to put a 3-receiver set on this side. And Olsen drops and throws and finds Bragg at the 24. The Trojans find him right there at the 25. Jason Leach with the initial contact. And it is going to be 4th down. Auburn out in front of Tennessee as expected, and they better win big. 14-0 in the SEC championship game, but even if they do, if Oklahoma beats Colorado, it's probably not enough. Now, if they win big and Oklahoma struggles,
they could overtake them, right?
Maybe.
Who would you rather see? Assuming the
I'd
Trojans
rather play Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree. They played Auburn a couple times, Even went into their place and beat them 22-0, although their offense is a lot different now. They're a lot better on offensive.
Kluwe will take the snap off to the left side a little bit, kicks the ball off the side of his leg a little bit, and the Trojans will just get out of the way and watch a Bruin roll from the 35 down to the 25-yard line, and the Trojans will start there after the 50-yard punt by Chris Kluwe. Big Fog misting systems. Choice of the USC Trojans for sideline cooling. Call Big Fog for more information at 888-853-1728. Or check out the website at bigfogg.com. Big Fog, the choice of the NFL, but more importantly, Big Fog, an official sponsor of USC football. Pittsburgh beat South Florida 43-14 to win the Big East. Virginia Tech over Miami of Florida 16-10 to win the ACC. Louisville crushed Tulane 55-7 to win Conference USA championship honors. Bush, the one back for the Trojans on 1st and 10. Motion this way by McFoy. Handoff, Bush looking for a block from Byers and gets it, but everything breaks down shortly thereafter, and a short gain to the 28 for Bush of 3 yards. Justin London will bring him down. Navy over Army, 42-13. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but one of the best events ever held here at the Rose Bowl, other than a Rose Bowl game. The Army-Navy game came here one year, and it was really a great spectacle to see.
I would love to go back. I'd pay to go back and see that game.
A lot warmer here than it was in Philly. And they move it around every so often. They'll do that, and it was here at the Rose Bowl really exciting, and it was a full house. Bush again, the one back. Twin receivers right side. Mitchell comes in short motion. Handoff, going right side. There goes Bush at the 30. He's got the first down at the 35 and dribbles himself out of bounds at the 40. Nice block by Mitchell, the motion man, to spring Bush on the outside. The Bruins wanted a penalty, but they didn't get it, and a first down for SC out at the 41.
Nice little counter play designed to go to the backside, but it looked like it was going to be an off-tackle play to the front side. A good action by Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, but you're right, Pete. It was the block by Jason Mitchell on Spencer Havener. He was there to make the play. Mitchell got just enough on him to allow Bush to get outside.
One other score to throw your way, the NAIA semifinals. Azusa Pacific finally got beat. Carroll, Montana got them 14-10 in the semifinals. A great season for APU. Lendale White, running back, crunch formation, trips on the right side. Quick throw over the middle, knocked around, intercepted, fumbled, and on the ground. And a scramble for it. The Trojans may have come back up with the ball. I believe the Bruins got an interception, then fumbled it, and they did, and the Trojans have recovered the football at the 41-yard line.
That's three plays.
We had no turnovers. Now we get bang, bang.
That's 3 plays in this game that have favored the Trojans, and the officials are talking, but that was a pick. It was like a pinball wizard with the ball in the air. The Bruins came up with it, then got stripped, and the Trojans retained the football.
And it should be first down.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Bruins had the ball.
Exactly. It will be first down, but the Bruins should have had the ball, and Pete Carroll's getting the explanation. He's happy. Carl Durrell is not happy because it just seems like nothing is going the Bruins' way concerning any big breaks. And that ball was tipped up in the air by Spencer Havener. Great job, picked off by Justin London, and then he got stripped from behind, looked like by Steve Smith, and the ball came out.
And now Leinart rolls and throws, come back, Steve Smith dropped it. Second time today the Trojans have had a catch for some distance and just dropped the ball because they were thinking of running before catching. Got to secure that little pumpkin first, huh? Second down and 10 at the 41-yard line. So Leinart throws his 6th interception of the year, and he was on pace for 6 interceptions this year, so maybe he got it out of the way today, and he won't have any in the bowl game.
But it happened so fast, it didn't feel like an interception.
Good. Good. It didn't hurt at all.
But Steve Smith has to catch this football. The ball's right on the money on the bootleg. Matt Leinart throws it on the run as well as any quarterback out there right now, 17 out of 24.
Biggest surprise of the day is that Leinart hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. Leinart, handoff. Delay to Bush, and Bush thrown down for no gainer at the 41. C.J. Nusulu from Barstow High, the former CIF Division 8 Player of the Year. Corleone Julius Nusulu.
When you don't get yards on first down, and obviously when you don't get yards on second down, you got third and long, but first down is such a key down, and the Trojans' offense is based upon that. That's why they have such a great short passing attack, and the Bruin fans are jacked up. They're getting the fans and the players are all getting the fans in the mix here. Third and long. This is a big play here for the UCLA defense.
Bush and company off to the right side. Leinart looking at Bush, but throws incomplete through the hands of Reggie Bush at about the 45. And again, another short pattern would have been well short of a first down. The Bruins hold the Trojans and force SC to kick the ball away with 3:31 to go in the third and a 23-10 USC lead. USC football brought to you by Metrex, proud nutrition supplement provider to the Trojans. Stop by your local Ralph's and ask for your Metrex bars today. So another drop pass really does the Trojans.
Another dropped ball, but it was a little bit high, and of course Reggie Bush, being Reggie Bush, wanted to make something happen. Kind of took his eyes off the ball. If it was a little lower numbers, he would have been okay.
I was thinking more of the Steve Smith one that really did him in. Bragg calls for the fair catch and makes it on the dead run at the 19-yard line. He had to come across the field a long way to make that catch, and the Bruins will start at their own 19. One other game of interest today, and we just can't seem to find the score on the internet. The NCAA Division III quarterfinals, and Occidental College of Eagle Rock was playing up at Linfield College of Oregon. That should be almost over by now, but we just can't find the score. So if you're an Occidental fan and you want to call our studios at 800-770-1540 and give them the score and let them know what happened, we'll be happy to pass the word along, especially if Oxy were to pull off the upset again today. 1st and 10. UCLA at their own 19-yard line. Handoff and a gain of about a yard for Markey. He's only a freshman, 5'11", 195. Gain up to almost the 20-yard line. We'll give him one. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
And Markey had 238 yards all-purpose against Oregon. And he's a good back, again, averaging 6.1 yards a carry. Has not been able to get going. Trojans coming with a blitz on 1st down. You know, the Bruins are on their 19-yard line to start this series. Got almost a yard. Came a blitz with Matt Grudegood. He got in the backfield before Markey could get going.
Pass by Olsen, complete. Far side of the field to the 30, out to the 35. Triple tackled. Eric Wright, Lofa Tatupu among others. Sitting on top of UCLA's Junior Taylor, and a gain out to the 32 and a 1st down for the Bruins. Well, now you look at the clock with 2:43 to go, and only a 13-point Trojan lead. This game is certainly not out of reach for UCLA.
The Trojans come with another blitz, again on 2nd and long. And then obviously Pete Carroll says, hey, let's put some pressure on these guys, let's get the ball back, put our offense in good position to take it down and get some points. Good throw that time, though, by Drew Olsen.
Mercedes Lewis goes in motion away on 1st and 10 from their own 32, trailing 23-10. Flip pass, left side, caught. And out to the 50 and down the sideline. Still on his feet. The Bruins still moving out to the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Tab Perry with a big gainer. And the Bruins are set up at the Trojan 29-yard line. Some poor tackling there. This is starting to remind me of the game in 1965 where the Trojans dominated UCLA the whole game, and then Beeben found a couple of guys at the end, including Altenberg in the last minutes, and knocked Garrett and his team out of the Rose Bowl. It's starting to feel that way.
Drew Olsen got burned badly last year, Pete. 3 corner blitzes, 3 fumbles by the quarterback, 2 for touchdowns. He's looking for the corner blitz. There, saw Eric Wright coming and threw a hot pattern to Tab Perry. And then Perry did the rest, breaking a tackle from Jason Leach. Big play for the Bruins.
Taylor, Brazil, and Bragg on the right side, but the throw back against the grain, knocked away by Darnell Bing. Incomplete pass, looking for Lewis, the tight end. About the line of scrimmage at the 29-yard line. A step earlier, and Bing catches that and goes 70-some yards the other way. Trojan football brought to you by StubHub.com. You got tickets? Sell them on StubHub.com. You want tickets? Go to StubHub.com. It's STUBHUB. Call 866-STUB-HUB.
Hard to make that throw off your back foot. And the reason Drew Olsen was off his back foot is because, once again, Sean Cody, the co-player of the year in the Pac-10 for defense, was putting pressure on Drew Olsen. He couldn't follow through, and that's why that was a poor throw and an incomplete pass.
Bunch formation for the Bruins this time, left side. And Olsen flushed from the pocket, throws a little bit behind Joe Cowan, who gets hit at the 24-yard line just as he made contact with the ball, but it's incomplete. Justin Wyatt defending on the play. Incomplete, 3rd and 10. We did get a word that Linfield of Oregon beat Oxy 56-27. There you go.
Linfield historically is a really good program. Is it Division III?
Yeah, I think they were the #1 team in the country going.
I know. They're just good year in and year out. They're showing some movement by Drew Olsen out of the pocket, and no one opened down the field. Pressured by the Trojans. He found a seam to the right, and Joe Cowan dropped the ball. He's just got to catch that ball.
Perry to the left, Junior Taylor to the right side, along with Bragg. Lewis in motion on 3rd and 10 from the 29. Olsen drops to pass, throws. Boy, he can make the catch. Junior Taylor inside the 15, down to the 10 and down to the 9-yard line. Taylor with a simple slant from right to left, caught it over the middle, and it's 1st and goal, UCLA at the 9, and with 1:46 to go in the 3rd, the Bruins knocking on the door, trying to get back within a touchdown.
That's a great throw, but a better catch by Junior Taylor. 3rd down and long. You drop back in your pocket. Good protection. Patterson couldn't get there, and Cody couldn't get there. This ball's behind Junior Taylor. Justin Wyatt he had about 2 steps on Justin Wyatt, so he had great separation, allowed him to come back, turn around to get the ball before he made tackle.
Backs are in the eye, handoff, and it's Manuel White, and he's in the end zone, and UCLA has a touchdown. And the Bruins are only down by 7 and soon to be right back in this football game, and we have a whole quarter left in it.
This is a great drive by the UCLA Bruins offense. They were not doing anything the last 2 series. First series, they came out in the third quarter, did a good job, but had to punt. Then 2 3-and-outs. Here, a couple key passes and a nice run by Manuel White for the touchdown.
Kick by Medlock is good, and the Bruins are down by less than a touchdown with 1:35 to go in the third. USC 23, UCLA 17, a 7-play, 81-yard drive. It only took 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Manuel White, touchdown run, his 8th of the year. And the big play, the 40-yard run after catch up the sideline by Tab Perry, the 6th-year senior for UCLA.
And you'll recall last year that there were these corner blitzes, and Pete Carroll will probably bring 6 or 7 or 8 corner blitzes in every single game. Last year, burned the Bruins badly. This year, it's been an annoyance to Drew Olson. Haven't made any big plays out of it, but that play that Olson recognized to get the ball to Tab Perry because of the corner blitz, Eric Wright was not there to cover him. The safety had to come over, and Jason Leach couldn't make the play. That got this thing rolling.
Bruin fans starting to sniff it a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
Down only 6.
And the crowd really hasn't been in this game.
Now you can hear UCLA's supporters up and screaming for what would be the biggest upset for UCLA in the history of this series. They've never been underdogs.
That's right. They say it's the biggest ever, right? If they could come and win this game, and now down by 6 points, they're definitely in the hunt. It's up to the Trojan offense to do something on this series.
Medlock approaches, and a pooch kick, which is fair catch, called for and made by the Trojans. Jason Leach at the 30-yard line. And USC will start 70 yards away and up by only 6 with 1.5 minutes to go. We've still got a fourth quarter to go here.
Starting to get exciting, Pete.
Well, I had a feeling, I really did all year long. All year I told you that this would be a game that would come down to the last 5 minutes or so. It didn't make sense on paper.
No,
on paper,
not at all.
This is a 30-point win for USC.
Question. And that's what I thought
on the field, UCLA is due to give USC a ball game.
There was so much talk about how could the Bruins even be competitive, and this is going to be a blowout, and everybody from both sides.
No, they can't.
Right.
But it's 23 to 17.
Here we are. That's why the rivalry and the series is so great.
Bush wide to the left side. Jarrett over to the right. 1st and 10 Trojans. Inside handoff. No play action for Liner. Rolls, throws. Back against the grain. Steve Smith makes the catch. Throws a shoe. And makes it out across the 40 to the 44. Trey Brown will drag him down out of Overland Park, Kansas, near the NCAA headquarters. 1st and 10 Trojans after a 14-yard pickup to Steve Smith.
Whenever Norm Chow wants to get something going, he comes with a bootleg. This is a less traditional bootleg in that it was a inside handoff fake. Ordinarily, it's an off tackle or a counter fake. But same idea. Get Leinart out of the pocket in space. Give him some time to make some decisions there. He found Steve Smith, his third receiver, over the middle.
McFoy goes off to the right side. Jarrett to the left. Handoff Lendale White. Pushes his blocker Byers in front of him and almost gets away across the 50 to the Bruin 48-yard line. Byers was in front of him, and he pushed Byers out of the way and tripped over his ankle, it appeared, or White almost slithered through there and went the distance, 2nd and 2.
Lendale White is such a powerful runner, and this time he's running behind pulling guard Jeff Byers. And Byers, he says, get out of my way, Jeff, hit somebody. He finally hit Matt Clark, but not in time for him to get away from the pile, and the tackle's made by Page.
2nd down and 2 at the 48-yard line for USC. Jarrett right, McFoy and Mitchell left. Leinart audibilizing. Lendale White started straight behind Leinart. Now moves over to the right side on 2nd and 2. Quick drop, flip. White catches at the 50. 45 Bruins sideline and out of bounds inside the 40-yard line to the 38. And that'll be enough for a USC first down and then some. The 10-yard gain. The referee just kept walking up the sideline, taking his own time to let us know where the ball was out of bounds.
The strategy of this game is so very interesting. And Matt Leinart's so smart. He recognized his defensive fronts. It looked like the Bruins were going to come with a blitz. They dropped the safety in an 8-man look, so he audibilizes. Well, then the Bruins come out of it. They audibilize, and so everyone's audibilizing back and forth, and Havner couldn't get out there to cover Lendale White in time. Good throw by Matt Leinart to Lendale White.
First and 10 at the Bruin 38. Play action for Leinart. Sack. Bang. Way back near midfield. Kevin Brown in again. That's his third sack of the game.
And Kevin Brown is doing a great job that time getting around true freshman Jeff Byers. Just goes right around him. Byers trying to push him outside.
Kind of took him with him.
He sure did. And Leinart needed to step up in the pocket, but he couldn't. And another sack. Great job by Kevin Brown.
So it'll be the end of the third quarter upon us now, and the Trojans' lead is precarious at best after 3. Trojans 23, UCLA 17. This is the Trojan Radio Network. Follow the Trojans throughout the season with the Petros Papadakis Show on flagship station 1540 The Ticket. Petros can be heard weekdays between noon and 2, but only on 1540 The Ticket. 3 quarters have been completed at the Rose Bowl. The Trojans continue to lead UCLA 23-17. And SC with the ball on a 2nd and long coming up. But let's pause 10 seconds before we start the fourth quarter for station identification on the national champion USC Trojans Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Home to Trojans and the Dean of SoCal Sports, Fred Rogan on the radio. Weekdays at 2.
The stats are a lot closer than they were. Trojans 349 yards to 187 for the Bruins, but it's 184 to 20 on the ground. 165 for the Trojans, 167 for the Bruins through the air. First downs are 14-8. Lendale White, 60 yards. Bush, 9 carries, 169 yards, and 2 long touchdowns. Here's a 2nd and 18 for the Trojans at the Bruin 46 after Leinart was sacked for the 3rd time today. Leinart drops the pass, throws, coming across the middle. It's Bush at the 45, steps in at the 40, stays on his feet to the UCLA 31, and gives the Trojans a pretty good shot at it. They'll say knee down at the 32, a 15-yard game. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 for the Trojans. Smith with 4 catches, Jarrett with 5 for SC. Olsen 11 of 22 for 167, but looked pretty good in the 3rd quarter.
Really made some big throws in the 3rd quarter and some key reads as well. And when in doubt, and you want some yards, go to Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush on a little crossing route underneath the coverage. The Bruins getting deep because it's 3rd and long. You just flip to Bush, and he gets close to a first down. Now 3rd and 4, big play here.
3rd, 4th to 32, be a long field goal try with the wind if they have to try it. Lendale White runs into the line, gets away, and close to a first down to the 28-yard line, but he's short by about a half a yard, maybe a full yard, where they're marking it now at the 28.5. Need about another yard altogether. C.J. Nisulu with the tackle. Well, 4th and 1 from the UCLA 38. You're talking about a 45-yard field goal right at the outstretches of Ryan Killeen's potential. Now they've put it down. I think it's about a half a football short, about 8 inches short.
Justin Hickman, defensive end, really doing a good job bull rushing Sam Baker, pushing Baker into the backfield, and that's who bumped into Lendale White. He had to restart. Great 2nd effort by Lendale White to get the first.
Or not.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, short by about a football.
Yeah.
Short by about a football.
Yep.
So, 4th down. So early 4th quarter, deep in Bruin territory, leading by 6, number 1 in the nation, and a spot in the championship game.
That's how you go for it here. You got football, you got Lendale White. How are you going to stop him? Can't stop him. Or you go Matt Leinart, a quarterback sneak, but I think you give it to Lendale White. This guy will not be denied to get the first down. And if the Trojans get the first down, they're going to take it in here and get some points. The Bruins, if they don't get it, you're still in good position. The Bruins have to drive 71 yards to get a touchdown.
Play clock runs with 10 on the clock. Lendale White behind Lee Webb, double tight end formation. Motion this way for Jason Mitchell on 4th and inches. Handoff to White into the line. First down, and he stays on his feet inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Well, there's a good call. And the Trojans on the bench chirping pretty good, jerking their heads, saying, yeah, we got it going now. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. There's no question they're going to go for it. Either try and kick a 45-yarder, even though Ryan Killeen has hit his last 5 field goals. That's still a stretch for him. Just take it on in. This is This is for the national title game. I mean, this is what they're playing for. So let's just not win by a point. Let's try and get the first and take it in the score.
Glendale White has just passed Morley Drury, the noblest Trojan of them all, with the number 22 spot on the career rushing list. Offset eye right. Reggie Bush, the one back. Motion this way for Steve Smith on 1st and 10 from the Bruin 24. Hand off to Bush. Starts left. Comes around the right side. Trying to beat him to the corner and does. Gets to the 20 and driven out of bounds on the Trojan sideline. Just about the 20-yard line. He'll pick up 4. 2nd down and 6. Trojan football brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers. Proud sponsors of the USC UCLA Lexus Gauntlet Crosstown Rivalry. Your Lexus dealer pursuing perfection.
Only speed will get you 4 yards on this play. Only speed, because Reggie Bush had no place to go to his left. He bounced it all the way to the right. Wesley Walker was there, but you can't keep up with him. He couldn't even get a hand on him. He just bounced it outside and went full speed to the edge and get 4.
Trojans trying to win back-to-back national championships for the first time since 1931-32. Went 10-1 in 31. Lost the opener to St. Mary's. Those were different days. 2nd down and 6 at the 20-yard line. Handoff. Bush starts right, comes back in the middle, gets hit down from the side by Matt Clark, and only a yard to the 19-yard line. 3rd and 5 at the 19.
Matt Clark coming on a corner blitz. The Bruins giving the Trojans a little dose of what they like to do, and that is bring the corner blitz. So both teams combined only 2 out of 21 on 3rd down conversion.
Wow. 3rd and 5 from the 19. Need to get inside the 14-yard line. 12:24 to go in the game. And the Trojans' undefeated season on the line. They lead 23-17. 10th play of the drive. Motion for Bird away. Back to pass is Liner. Waiting, sets, throws deep into the end zone. It could be intercepted. It might have been, but it was dropped in the corner of the end zone by Ben Emanuel. Incomplete. 4th down, and the Trojans will bring in the field goal unit, try to put them up by 2 scores.
That was a scary throw. Obviously miscommunication. Steve Smith stopping on his route. Matt Leinart thinking he's going to run to the corner of the end zone, and Ben Emanuel beat Steve Smith to the ball. That could have been a pick and not give the Trojans a chance for the field goal, but it wasn't. He dropped the ball, so now we got Ryan Killeen out, attempting a 37-yard field goal from the right hash.
Out of the hold of Tommy Malone again. The place is perfect. The kick is away, high, long, and the Trojan fans and the referees agree that it is good again. Time out of the field. With 12:05 left in the ball game, the Trojans now lead UCLA. It's SC 26, Bruins 17 on the Trojan Radio Network.
SoCal's official football station, 1540 The Ticket.
Trojans now leading 26-17 as Ryan Killeen has tied the USC record for most field goals in a game. Steve Jordan against Cal in 83 and against Oregon in 84. Quinn Rodriguez kicked every single point in the game to beat Arizona 12-10 in 87. And Adam Abrams in 98 against Oregon State. Now you can add Ryan Killeen 4 for 4 today.
Good for him. That's obviously a huge stage. And he delivered last week against the Irish, and he's delivering in today's game against the Bruins.
Sky Team is a proud sponsor of USC football. Sky Team and its 6 current members are here to get you where you want to go. With over 7,000 daily flights to 500 destinations in 100 countries and growing. Sky Team makes life easier for you. Visit skyteam.com for more information. So Killeen will kick off. Markey and Perry again waiting for another boot. And it's away, and it's into the end zone, and rather deep into it as Markey will catch it and stay there, and they'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line.
And that is such a weapon that we don't talk about enough. Earlier in the game, of course, with the Trojan penalty, kicking off from the 20-yard line, Killeen, even as strong a leg as he has, could not kick it into the end zone, and therefore no touchback. And Craig Bragg takes it back for the touchdown, 95 yards. So the Trojans' weapon, Ryan Killeen on kickoffs, is huge and understated. And there, the Bruins have to start this drive on their own 20 to try and march at 80.
Maurice Drew trying to go again. Heavily spatted feet and all. Play action. Olsen rolls to the right, has time to run, and will. He's past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, and it's a completed pass out to the 42-yard line, and a flag is down. And well, it should be. He was well past the line of scrimmage. Craig Bragg made the catch, but Olsen was at the 21, 22-yard line when he threw that ball.
Well, Bragg was covered up by the Trojan defender. I think it was Justin Wyatt. And Drew Olsen kept saying, hey, uncover, get open, get open, get open. Well, In the meantime, Drew Olson kept going closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. Finally, Bragg got open, and he released it, and Olson forgot where he was, and that's crossing the line of scrimmage.
Probably could have run it for 10 yards himself.
We could have got at least a few.
Yeah, he was at the 21 anyway.
It was a yard past the line, yard and a half past the line of scrimmage when he made the throw, easily. And that was Grudiger got a late hit. Grudiger should have got a flag on a late hit. That ball was way gone.
How can you late hit a guy that threw an illegal pass?
It's a double negative.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
He got no penalty there.
It's like, math majors, minus 2 is a plus 2. You just cross it out.
It'll be also a loss of down, a very tough penalty to take.
Very costly penalty to take, because they are looking at a first down, 1st and 10, another completion, and now, wow, 2nd and 15.
We knew the Bruins could move the ball, both on the ground and through the air. They have a decent offense, and they've scored a lot of points. Now, they've scored 17 here today, one of those on a 95-yard punt return, an all-time record for UCLA. This will be a 2nd and 15 from the 15. Olson throws as he's hit. Over the middle, Bragg makes the catch across the 25 and lands face first down in the grass at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12 and a 3rd and 3. So that loss of down comes into play here because they got another 3rd down pickup try, and both teams have been just horrible.
No question. Good pressure up the field by Lawrence Jackson, forcing an earlier throw and a harassed throw by Drew Olson. It was a great catch by Craig Bragg. Craig Bragg is playing outstanding, and the score in the second with 13:09 to go is 14-7 Auburn.
Auburn over Tennessee.
Yeah.
Olson throws, complete, first down, just barely across the 30-yard line. Darnell Bing making the tackle on Michael Petre, the fullback, with his 10th catch. He's out of El Modena. Where's James McAllister's number 32? Where the Bruins get a first down, 1st and 10 at their own 30 and a half. 11:02 to go. They must score twice.
Another bootleg by Drew Olson. Again, buying some times. Great calls. Good catch by Michael Petre in the flat. Trojan there to make the tackle, but just after he got the first down.
1st and 10 at the 31. Starting off to the right side, Junior Taylor sets up on the left now as he went the wrong way. Brandon Brazil joins him there. Backs in the eye. Maurice Drew. But back to pass is Olson. Waiting. Steps up in the pocket. Sacked from behind by Sean Cody at the 30-yard line. For Cody, his 9th sack of the year. And getting up very slowly as Cody might have taken an ankle in the stomach as he went down.
It looked like he got sucker punched or something. He just dropped. He made the tackle. Looked like everything was fine.
I think he got hit with the ankle coming up under the bread basket is what happened, I think.
You had Lawrence Drew and you had Shannon Tavaga
right on top of him.
Yeah.
An UFA. One of those sorts of things.
Kind of knocked the wind out of him, and he's coming off the field right now. Nice job by Sean Cody. Is very instinctive. Again, if he's not getting to the quarterback, you just got to go to the ball. And he's very good laterally, which is hugely important when you're a defensive tackle, to be able to move from side to side.
Cody takes a knee on the sideline, says, "I can't breathe." Markey goes in motion. Olson has the wrong guys in the wrong places. And Bruins might have been forced to call a timeout, or there could have been a penalty called against the Bruins. It is a penalty against UCLA as Mossler was moving around. And so a 5-yard procedure call makes it 2nd and 16. 10:36 left in the ball game. Trojans lead 26-17. It hasn't been easy. Trojans dominated early, but the Bruins hung around and then started to move the ball a little bit in the second quarter and have done pretty well since, as we expected them to do. What hasn't been expected is how well UCLA's defense has done against USC's offense. Olson throws, Bragg catches, and he gets hit immediately and stuck at the 30-yard line by Lofa Tatupu, and that's the sound that Craig Bragg made when he caught the ball.
Tatupu. Well, Lofa gets very deep on 2nd and long and 3rd and long many times. Very deep because he's so instinctive and he can read better. So Craig Bragg makes the catch on a little look route because the safety, Kevin Arbette, came on a blitz, and that was another hot throw that Drew Olson read and Craig Bragg read very nicely. But Tatupu was really in position, anticipated well, just stuck Craig Bragg right after he caught it.
Bragg and Perry to the right side, joined there by Junior Taylor. Motion this way for the back. Markey, back to pass is Olson again. Throws, nice comeback. Make the catch at the 38. Pushed back short of a first down, Junior Taylor. And it'll be a third, make it a fourth down. Fourth and about 2, 9.5 to go. Fourth down and 2 from your own 39.
Might want to think about it. They're breaking the punt team on.
It's a little early to be going for it on fourth down from back this way, although they did fake a punt earlier at the 20-yard line.
Might want to fake another punt. That's a great catch on an in route or curl route by Junior Taylor. Coming inside. Good job of separating from Justin Wyatt. The ball was high and outside. He leapt and got the ball with his hands, tucked it. Didn't get the first because it was a great tackle by Justin Wyatt and the rest of the Trojans.
Well, Wesley Walker says, snap it to me again. I can get another 11. But Kluwe gets the snap, kicks it. Bush, fair catch. Stumbles and makes the catch at the 18-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will start off. Timeout. 8:52 to go in the game. Ain't over yet. 26-17 Trojans on the Trojan Radio Network.
When the time comes to choose a physician, one group is remarkably different. The doctors of USC. It's those last 3 letters that do it. As faculty physicians at the Keck School of Medicine, they are the pioneers of tomorrow's medicine, providing a level of treatment that can only come from one of America's leading academic medical centers. Trust your health to the doctors of USC. To make one of our doctors yours, call 1-800-USC-CARE.
And we're back to the action where our business owner is scrambling to meet his deadline.
You know, his clients, vendors, and employees are all over the field, but he can't seem to call them all together.
Hold it. He's giving it another shot. He's dialing.
Now everyone's dialing.
It's a conference call with Verizon Conference Connections.
Talk about a turnaround.
With Verizon Conference Connections, it's easy to bring all the people you need to make snap decisions all together with one conference call. Anytime, anywhere there's a phone. And there's no activation fee. Just call 1-800-788-7587 to start today.
And he makes the deadline with time to spare.
Now that's what Verizon Conference Connections is all about.
Amazing.
Call 1-800-788-7587 today. Verizon, a proud sponsor of USC football.
Verizon. Make progress every day. Conference connections provided by Verizon Enterprise Solutions and Verizon Long Distance. Rate subject to change. Terms and conditions apply.
The Trojans play right here. 1540 The Ticket.
8:52 left in this contest at the Rose Bowl. Darkness starting to settle in. The lights taking effect, and it's 26-17 USC. Ryan Killeen with 4 field goals today. And Reggie Bush with 2 long touchdown runs. Seems like a long time ago now. And Leinart being outpassed as far as numbers are concerned by Drew Olson. Let's see if that holds up and how much the Trojans will pass as they've got it first down back at their own 18. The Bruins need the ball and need to score twice. The Trojans could grind some time off the clock and effectively end the game. But Leinart will go to the air, throw a short one to Alex Holmes. He's bull running out across the 30, 35 and stumbles and falls out near the 40-yard line. Holmes' first catch of the game and gives the Trojans a big gain out to the Trojan 39-yard line. Gain the home field advantage for complete coverage of today's game and all Pac-10 football action. Check out the sports section in tomorrow's Daily News. Very safe passing, really. It's almost like running.
Bootleg is a safe throw if you've got a guy like Matt Leinart who's not going to take chances with a football. But if you have good running backs, a good running game, you can get a lot of guys open. And it was wide open in the flat, Alex Holmes, and good job running. Fortunately, he just stumbled or he could have got some extra yards.
Holmes catches Hal Bensall, number 19 on the Trojan receiving list. Inside toss. Goes to Bush, gets away at the 45-50. Here he goes again, 45. Steps inside at the 40. What a move at the 35. And is finally dragged out of bounds inside the 35. And a little bit too roughly at the UCLA 27-yard line, but no call is made. And it'll be a big gain as Trey Brown getting a little frisky there with Reggie Bush, who made 4 or 5 Bruins miss a 34-yard run, 1st and 10 Trojans.
Little inside screen. Kevin Brown thought he was going to get another sack on Matt Leinart because the offensive lineman let him go, but he just flipped it to Reggie Bush about 2 yards over the head of Kevin Brown, and Bush just did his thing once again. He has eyes, I think, behind his head. He sees guys that you can't see and makes tremendous cuts full speed. Another big play from Reggie Bush.
Bush and Smith to the right, Jarrett to the left. Leinart looking for his first touchdown pass of the game to keep a streak alive. He has never not thrown one. Hand off, and it's Lendale White, runs into the pile, gets away, then knocks sideways and frontways to about the 22 by Brown again. How many tackles for Trey Brown? He's been all over the place today. That's 9 so far. And it's a gain of about 4, maybe 5. We'll call it 2nd and 6.
Lendale White that time got the ball and then faked the reverse by Matt Leinart, trying to get the defensive lineman to pull outside, open the hole inside. Good penetration by Justin Hickman. Again, he bumped into Sam Baker. That's who Lindell White bumped into, and then he had to ricochet off him and bounce to lean forward to get 4.
Jarrett to the right, Dominic Bird wide left. 3 men in the backfield, but now Steve Smith vacates. Offset eye left with Kurtman and White. On 2nd and 6, Leinart rolls left, throws over the middle. Jarrett, if he goes up, he can get it in a touchdown, but it's knocked away at the last second by Jarrett Page. His second touchdown-saving deflection, and the ball just a little bit flat rather than thrown high. If it's high, Jarrett goes up the ladder and gets it for 6 instead, 3rd and 6.
Well, Jarrett Page is 6'2". If that would have been against Matt Clark, 5'9", that would have been a touchdown. He got great coverage also by the inside linebacker, Justin Leonard. In cover 2, that inside linebacker is responsible for getting deep. He was back there causing some problems as well, and that's why Matt Leinart had to throw it over the top of him and not put enough juice on it, and that's why Jarrett got in there and got a hand on it.
3rd and 6, Mitchell and Smith right, Jarrett left, one back is Bush, quick drop, Leinart pumps, throws, back against the grain, diving catch, out at the 17, Mitchell came back just maybe a yard too far, bringing up a 4th down and a yard to go. Now you're already up 2 scores, 26-17. 29-17 isn't going to make much difference. I think here is a spot where you think seriously about going for it.
Yeah, because you only go up by 12. You got to get 2 touchdowns. It doesn't matter. Let's go for a touchdown. Go for the touchdown. It's a touchdown. Well, a touchdown and a field goal certainly will go ahead. So the Trojans looking like
the Bruins to score.
Yes, they got to score. You got to score 2 touchdowns.
Right.
If they get another field goal, but if they get a touchdown, then they've got to score 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Trojans are going to let the play clock run down along with the game clock. Play clock down to 4, 3, 2. Timeout USC with 6:43 left in the game.
I say 4th and 1, go to Lindell White.
We've got a break in the action. We'll find out how Coach McDonald calls this play next when we come back on the Trojan Radio Network.
You're heading to the Coliseum in your new...
Trojan football is here, and there's no better way to follow all the action than by subscribing to home delivery of the Sunday Los Angeles Times. For only $1 a week, you'll get the latest stats, scores, and recaps, and you'll enjoy big savings, as well as the convenience of having the Sunday Times delivered to your door. Don't miss a single Trojans moment. Subscribe now for only $1 a week. Call 1-800-220-7373. That's 1-800-220-7373. The Los Angeles Times. We've got it covered.
John Madden and Tom Brady here for Sirius Satellite Radio.
Hey, John, I gotta say, your cruiser rocks.
Yeah, I got a widescreen TV, surround sound.
But the Sirius Satellite Radio is the coolest thing.
I can listen to the entire NFL, no matter where I go.
Now get Sirius Satellite Radio for just $12.95 a month and listen to your favorite team every week, everywhere. Hardware sold separately. Terms, conditions, and activation fee apply. Visit Best Buy, Circuit City, Crutchfield.com, Radio Shack, or Sirius.com for details. The NFL is a registered trademark of the National Football League.
Now I never have to leave the cruiser.
John, that's why Sirius makes a boombox.
Trojan football and SoCal's best sports talk. 1540 The Ticket.
6:43 to go in the game. The Trojans with a 4th and 1 need to get inside the 16. The ball just outside the 17. Trojan football brought to you by the doctors of USC. Whether it's an annual checkup or a complex medical problem, the doctors of USC can provide outstanding care for you and your family. Call 1-800-USC-CARE. Leinart, 22 of 32, 236 yards. The game on the line for the UCLA Bruins. If they hold the Trojans, they've still got a chance. If the Trojans score again, it's going to be very tough, especially a touchdown. Backs in the eye. Bird in motion. White is the tailback. Webb in front of him. Handoff to White. He got stuck. No gain. Bruins take over on downs. And with 6:38 to go, UCLA lives to breathe at least another series.
Well, that was the call. I mean, I was in sync with Norm Chow, Pete Carroll, and everybody else, but no such thing as a bad idea, just poor execution. And that time, the Bruins executed better on defense than the Trojans did on offense. Great penetration. Everybody on the line of scrimmage selling out. 9 guys and good penetration. Sulu was there. Everybody inside. Good play, especially by Brigham Harwell.
We may be headed for one of the great finishes in this rivalry's history, and there have been a number of them. 6:38 to go in the contest. The Trojans leading 26-17. The Bruins must score 2 times. Trip receivers to the left side. Now Cowan goes over to the right. That leaves Brazil And Marcus Everett on this close side. Haven't called his name all day. Brazil goes in motion, gets a pitch back on to the right side. Flags are down. The Bruins are going to be guilty of an illegal procedure call as Frosty Rucker makes the tackle. And you know, where they tackle him for a loss back at the 16, I don't think you take that flag at all. You make it 2nd and 13 instead of 1st and 15.
No question about it. And that was a really interesting illegal procedure again on the Bruins. It's hard to convert third downs, hard to drive the ball and move the sticks when you keep going backwards. And that was an interesting call because it's a risky call against this very fast, quick Trojan defense that can recover exceptionally well. And you've got a wide receiver, Brazil, getting a pitch out way deep in the backfield.
Offense. That penalty is refused.
Trojans turn the penalty down. It'll be 2nd and 13. 88,442 here at the Rose Bowl today, enjoying the latest rivalry between USC and UCLA.
What's that, 7 or 8 sellouts that the Trojans have played before this season?
Big 80,000 crowd just about everywhere they go. We'll probably see another one, you know.
Oh, yeah.
2nd down and 13. Manuel White of the backfield had a touchdown run, a short one earlier. But Olsen's going to drop the pass, throws over the middle, intercepted Tutupu at the 20. Fall down, Lofa. Fall down at the 20-yard line. The Trojans get the pick. Tutupu's 3rd of the year, 7th of his career, and the Trojans hand UCLA a crushing blow.
That's the nail in the coffin right there. After a great stand by their defense, obviously the Bruins have to make something happen. They've got 2nd and long. The Trojans come with a stunt inside. That's a great stunt inside. It looked like it was Frosty Rucker coming around on the inside. Actually, it was Mike Patterson that got off in the face of Drew Olsen. Tried to get it to Mercedes Lewis underneath. And Lofa Tupu was right there. Never saw Lofa Tupu over the middle. Picked it off.
12 linebacker interceptions for the Trojans in their last 14 games, and 32 of the last 35 games. SC has a pick so far. 1st down and 10 at the UCLA 21.5. Motion for McFoy. Handoff for White left side to the 20 and down to about the 18, maybe the 17-yard line. Fumbled the ball. I think he was ruled down at the 18. I'm pretty sure that he was ruled down. Carl Durrell's out on the field and not very happy, and he should be flagged. He's out way past the numbers. Now he flings his headset in disgust, and several Bruin coaches were out on the sideline. It appeared as though White was down.
It looked like he was down. Would love to see a replay on that to see.
As opposed to one earlier where Bush appeared not to be down.
He's going down. There's a big pile.
Well, certainly the forward progress was stopped. If Bush's forward progress was stopped earlier, that one was much...
Hard to know if the whistle was called. There was a big pile up. He was going down. The ball was coming out as his knee hit.
2nd and 7. Handoff to Bush, coming to the right side, gets a nice block from Mitchell, spins around back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And the Bruins are trying to strip the ball out, which is what they should do. They've got to get the ball back. Can't even allow another field goal here.
Brigham Harwell ultimately making the tackle. Probably need to put it up here and put it near the end zone anyway. It's 3rd down and 7 from the 18.5. Trojan football brought to you by West Side Volvo in Culver City. West Side Volvo, you always get safety savings and satisfaction. Problem for the Bruins here, isn't so much the Trojans are down close. It's that there's only 4:48 left in the game, and they have to get the ball twice and score twice.
And then that means you got to score quickly and then maybe onside kick it. And the Trojans are 1 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. That is really unlike them.
That's what kept the Bruins in the game all day. Back to pass, Liner dumps to Bush, running around the left side, tackled from behind about the 17-yard line. 4th down. Bruins probably ought to call a timeout. Spencer Havener with some pretty good pursuit from behind. And now SC will trot in Ryan Kaleem, and if he's successful, he'll become the first Trojan in history to kick 5 field goals in a single game.
He's set up perfectly. That's going to be, it looks like a 34.5-yarder. What do they call it, 35-yarder?
We'll call it 34.
Okay.
Because they're inside the 25, but have not attained the 24 as far as this placement is concerned.
This time on the left hash.
Lines are set. Snap back, little high, but goes down. The kick is away, and the Trojan fans again tell us early that it is good. And Ryan Kaleem is the first Trojan in USC history to kick 5 field goals in a single game. He's made his last 7 in a row, and it ups the Trojan lead to 29-17. It isn't over yet, but it's getting close with 3:49 to go in the contest. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is the USC Trojan Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. For Trojan fans, it doesn't get any better than the Petros Papadakis Show, weekdays at noon.
Now, if the Bruins don't score on their next possession, they will not win the football game because they'll run out of time.
Yeah, exactly. And in talking to Ryan Killeen before the game, I was on the field at pregame warm-ups. I said, hey, let's have some fun out there today. Well, he's having fun in this game, kicking 5 field goals.
He could be player of the game if it weren't for Reggie Bush's 66 and 81-yard run.
Exactly, and I think Reggie Bush has over 300 yards all-purpose yards.
You could give them both that honor at the banquet coming up on the 14th.
I think that'd be great. Hey, John Jackson on the sideline. What's the feeling on the Trojan sideline? Everyone feeling a little more relaxed right now?
Well, they definitely feel more relaxed, but the problem is the offensive line cannot figure out these schemes that the Bruins are running. They keep going on the chalkboard. Tim Davis constantly going over the different twists. They're just not picking up the twists very well, and Jeff Ayers, I think, is confused. He's getting beat consistently by Brown.
Bruin fans starting to make their way towards the exits. Trojan fans sticking around for a potential party, one that would send them where the boys in the orange jackets want them, in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida in 2005.
Got to finish this thing, though. There's a lot of time left. This is obviously a hugely important. No, well, 3:49. You go down and score. You get onside kick and move the clock by stopping. Stop the clock by moving first downs. And with Bush's 174. Thanks, Mark Hoppy, our statistician. Reggie has 174 yards rushing, 75 receiving, 15 on punt returns, and 38 kickoff returns for 302 yards. That's just kind of like another day at the office for Reggie.
Even better than normal today.
Yeah, well, those 2 runs were spectacular.
Killeen's he's had a number of other ones that have been pretty fun to watch. Killeen's kickoff, 5 yards deep, and so the Bruins will start on the 20 again. Follow this Trojan season from start to finish by getting home delivery of the Sunday Los Angeles Times for only $1 a week. You'll get the latest stats, scores, and more, as well as the convenience of having the Times delivered to your door. To subscribe, call 1-800-220-7373. Now the Trojans players on defense trying to get the Trojan fans excited at least one more time. Bert Awada is our spotter, done a great job all year as usual. You going south with us? Oh, yeah, he says. Oh, yeah. First and 10 at the 20. Drew in the backfield. Olsen will throw, complete, and a sure tackle by right of Junior Taylor at the 29-yard line. He just threw him down. It'll be second down and 1. There's a piece of yellow tissue or something back at the 16-yard line. Looks like a penalty marker, but it's too small, I guess.
There's an orange. Somebody threw an orange on the field.
Well, that's fitting, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
Olsen throws. Great catch over the middle out to the 50-yard line. UCLA continues this drive to the tight end, Mercedes Lewis. 3:26 to go. Hope springs eternal for Brother Bruin.
Very nice throw by Drew Olsen to Mercedes Lewis on a seam route. Right up the middle. Wide open in the middle, but it was a nice throw on a line. Trojans now, the Bruins at the ball at 49.
Olsen will be back to throw again. They've got their arms on him, but he can't get away. Now he does get away. Stumbles, throws, long downfield for Taylor. Diving catch, and he makes the catch at the 12-yard line. How did he come up with that ball? It looked like something out of damn Yankees. Olsen was falling down, and so was Junior Taylor, and they managed to get the first down.
Olsen almost sacked by 2 different Trojan defensive linemen, stumbled off to the towards the sidelines, just lofted one up. That was Lawrence Jackson that almost had him. No, he's down on the ground. Lawrence Jackson's down on the ground in pain right now, but Drew Olsen lofted one up, and what a great catch by Junior Taylor. I don't know how he caught it, Pete.
41 yards. He stumbled, he got back up, he came back to make the catch. Olsen could have been sacked, and he put his arm down and barely managed to stay on his feet. And it's first and 10, Bruins at the 12. A touchdown here, an onside kick, and you bring in Gary Beeben and Kurt Altenberg, don't you?
It was almost like he caught it with one arm. He only had one arm out there because the other one was sort of caught up with Darnell Bing, and then right when the ball arrived, he was able to free his left arm to make the catch with 2 hands.
3:12 left in the ball game. 29-17. The Trojans' lead is 12. The clock begins to run as UCLA stays back in the huddle, and here come the Bruins. Taylor and Perry over to the right side, along with Bragg. One back is Markey. He vacates to come this way. On first and 10 at the SC-12. Olsen, flush from the pocket. He'll run, throw on the run, and throw it through the back of the end zone to the SC cheerleaders. Incomplete, second and 10. Trojan football brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Thanks for designating a driver. Responsibility matters. Anheuser-Busch.
And because Lawrence Jackson's out, I think he has a cramp issue. He's out. Cedric Ellis comes in at the defensive tackle spot, and Sean Cody moves out the defensive end. Good job of moving around the pocket by Drew Olson, but he was just kind of in midair when he tried to make that throw in between footsteps on the turf, and you just threw that way too high.
3 receivers again to the right side. Cowan is over there in motion. Perry comes this way, joining Lewis on the left side. Olsen throws, complete over the middle. Perry's got it inside the 5, down to the 3. Tab Perry with the catch. It'll be short of a first down by a yard. 3rd and 1. 2:47 left in the ball game. The Bruins knocking on the door, trying to get back to within a touchdown. And then we'd have an onside kick and hold everything. Darnell Bing makes the tackle, and the Bruins are forced to call a timeout.
That's interesting.
You don't want to do that
No,
there.
you don't. You want to save your timeouts down the stretch. And obviously they think this is a pretty crucial situation, which it is. 3rd and 1 on the 3, trying to get a touchdown against the Trojans.
3rd and 1 coming up. Our next broadcast, of course, will be the bowl game, either here on January 1st against Michigan or against Auburn or Oklahoma, probably in the Orange Bowl on January 4th. Basketball tonight, BYU and SC at the Sports Arena, 7 o'clock airtime. This one's got 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in it. Trojans led early on a Reggie Bush 66-yard touchdown run on the second play of the game. 10-0 after 1. Craig Bragg returned to punt 95 yards, a Bruin record, to make it 10-7. Bush, an 81-yard touchdown, made it 17-7, and it appeared as though the route was going to be on at that point. But the Bruins battled back with a field goal. Killeen kicked 2. Emmanuel White ran one in. Killeen's kicked 2 more, and it's 29-17. But field goals don't beat touchdowns. And if they get a touchdown here, the Bruins will be right back in the ball game and have a chance to get an onside kick and maybe win the thing.
Very much a different Bruin team that we are witnessing here in today's game.
It's the rivalry.
Yeah, it's the rivalry. But I got the feeling the last 2-3 years that Bruin team kind of threw in the towel. They haven't done it here today. They're playing 4 quarters to the very end.
Bragg and Perry to the right. Lewis that way as well. Hand off and throwing for a loss back to the 4-yard line. Dallas Sart's in quickly on the play. Manuel White trying to run it in as he did earlier in the ball game. And it's going to be 4th and 2 from the 4. 2 yards for a first down, 4 yards for a touchdown, and 2:24 to go. And now the Bruins will have to call another timeout. They've got to get a good play called here.
That is just poor scouting. You don't want to run the football against it. First of all, you don't want to run the football in that situation because you have to take another timeout if you don't get it. Secondly, you're running it against the number 2 rushing defense on the planet, the USC Trojans, only allowing 81 yards a game. So I have no idea why there's just a poor play call to try and go to the run, and that's why they're now looking at a 4th down. JJ, what do you got?
Hey, Paul, there's a key shift right before the ball was snapped. Lofa Tatupu hit Mike Patterson right on his butt and told him to move over into the gap, and that's exactly where the ball was run, into that gap. Patterson stuffed the hole. Lofa Tatupu scraped to the outside and made that play. So that was a very heads-up play and a good job by the quarterback of this defense, Lofa.
Yeah, Lofa's the best, and he's very instinctive. Much like Matt Leinart on offense, you got to be in control of what's going on, of all your guys, all 11, putting them in the right position to be successful, and that's what Lofa Tatupu does on defense as well.
This has been the best one of the bunch here since SC has gone on their streak. Most of them haven't been close. You remember during the Bruins streak of 8 straight? I think 6 of those games were really, really close games that SC could have won. None of these games the Bruins could have won until today. This is the first time they've been close. Yeah, the very first one to break the streak, that was the close one. But these last few haven't been very competitive at all. 27-0, couple of big blowouts the last couple of years.
See, they've got to throw the football here, the Bruins, that is. They've got to get...
I think for Mercedes Lewis, the tight end.
Yeah, either a drop back, a short throw, probably a play-action pass, and get Drew Olson out of the pocket.
Lewis is lined up right behind Carter, another tight end. Now he splits wide to the right. The backs are in the eye. Bragg to the left. They're throwing for Lewis. He comes back and tries to get it and does. And it's a touchdown, UCLA, and they're still alive. Bruins score. They went to Mercedes Lewis, a little turnaround in the far corner of the end zone, and the Bruins are on the board.
Now that was a good play call because they motioned Mercedes Lewis out to the right, away from the ball, and he is 6'6", 255, matching him up against Justin Wyatt at only 5'10". Throw the ball up there. It wasn't a high throw, but good job of shielding the ball with his body to make the catch for the touchdown.
Extra point for Medlock. It's perfect. And with 2:20 left in the game, the Bruins are down by less than a score and have a chance for an onside kick. And to get right back in the game, a 6-play, 80-yard drive keeps UCLA alive.
But burning those 2 timeouts
didn't help them any.
Was huge for the Trojans, because even if, now of course, if the Trojans recover the ball, basically that's going to be game over. But if they don't recover the football, you're still only left with 1 timeout, trying to march it down to get the winning touchdown. So they'll only have 1 timeout in this situation. You certainly would like to have 2, but they could and should have had 3.
Tab Perry with that long 41-yard catch on the bumbling
a great catch.
Wilson, and then Perry was falling down and made the catch at the 12, and that kept the Bruins going. And now they've got the onside kick try with 2:20 left in the contest. Oh boy, 29-24, USC by 5, and it is a ball game.
So the Trojans have their good hands people on the field anticipating an onside kick, which is what they'll see. All wide receivers, skill guys.
And because they called the 2 timeouts, they can't afford to kick this deep and hope to hold the Trojans.
They can't do it. They could have take the timeouts, hold the 3 and out, get the offense back on the field. But now they have to kick the onside kick.
If they didn't call one, they wouldn't have been able to pick up the touchdown with the right call, perhaps. Medlock approaches, kicks it, takes a hop. Trojans make the catch.
That's Matt Castle.
Castle makes the catch at the 47-yard line on the Bruins side of the field, and now SC needs to run a little clock time. The Bruins could stop it once.
A great job by Matt Castle. Here's a guy who's been freezing on the sidelines for 60 minutes or like 3.5 hours, and he comes out and sacrifices his body, jumping up into the crowd, jumping high, making the catch. What a great job by Matt Castle.
Every guy on the team coming over to congratulate him on the sideline. Here come the Trojans now. 1st and 10 from the 44. Need to hang on to the ball and need to run the clock. Backs are in the eye. Double tight end. Motion for Smith, but it's just a decoy. Hand off to Bush around the right side of the outside. Maybe it wasn't. At the 40, at the 30. Can you believe this? He stutter steps inside the 20, and he's down to the 15-yard line. He is unbelievable.
He is amazing. Reggie Bush, speed kills. When they thought of that saying, he got 29 on that one. They were visualizing Reggie Bush, number 5. He just bounces it outside and can turn the corner on anybody. There's no such thing as an angle.
203 yards rushing for Reggie Bush, and he does a nice slide to avoid running out of bounds and keep the clock running after the chains are reset at the 15-yard line. Now the Trojans should not have to. I think the timing right now is such where they can run the clock out, even though UCLA has 1 timeout remaining.
And the Orangers are coming onto the field from the Trojan band, maybe.
Well, it was anything but easy. Handoff, Bush, stutter step, get up the middle of the 16. No gain on the play, maybe a loss of 1. Clock runs with 1:40 to go, and the Bruins gave the Trojans all sorts of trouble here today, as you would expect from your rival. People across the country will see the score go, huh? How they only beat UCLA by 5? They're no good, but they don't understand what this rivalry is all about.
No, this rivalry is huge. The Bruins brought their A game. Didn't start out well on offense, but they had enough big plays. And special teams, extraordinarily good special teams by the Bruins today.
I was impressed with their defensive effort today.
They
kept them in the game. Those third down stops.
Trojans could not convert on 3rd down. And front 4, front 7 played their best game. On the heels 3 weeks ago of a very good game against Oregon.
Foy in motion, backs in the eye again, hand off to Bush. Bush just finds the line, pushes the pile forward to about the 12. Under a minute to go in the game. Hold everything. The Bruins have come up with the ball at the 12-yard line. Are you kidding me? That's as bad a call as there was earlier in the game.
The ball squeaked out of the pile.
I don't know how he went down. He fell down.
He was down on the ground. Reggie Bush pleading in vain to line judge.
Don't pick up another 15-yard penalty. And the Bruins have the chance with 53 seconds left in the ball, their own 14-yard line. And Sirius Satellite Radio gives you the entire NFL with the exclusive NFL Sunday Drive. Listen to the NFL every week only on Sirius Satellite Radio. Well, the ball was loose.
The ball was definitely loose.
Sure was.
Right about the time the knee touched the ground, the ball came out. And I was just about to say, whatever you do, don't fumble the football, and that's what happened.
Olsen drops the pass, throws over the middle. It's intercepted! Jason Leach makes the catch. Fall down, Jason. He's at the 30-yard line. Just fall down. Ball game over. Unless the Trojans have fumbled it back to the Bruins again.
They did fumble it. It looks like the Trojans recovered it. What a wild finish to this wild game.
Oh. And the Trojans come up with the fumble recovery at the 32-yard line, and now all they need to do is take a knee. Oh, brother.
Kevin Arbett came up with the ball. That was just a Hail Mary by Jason Leach, Drew Olsen, that Jason Leach picked off up the middle. That was a wounded duck. Great pressure applied to Drew Olsen. And then a good stiff arm on Taft Perry, but just go down, Pete, like I said. And then the ball comes out. That was another fumble. Kevin Arbett.
Ball down.
Kevin Arbett jumped on that football. Very, very, maybe one of the better plays of his entire career, because otherwise the Bruins would have had a chance to try and line up again on offense.
Just don't run in that situation. Just fall down. Liner takes a knee. 36 seconds left. Bruins and Trojans now getting into a fracas on the field. Players stay on the sideline. Don't go out there. And Fred Matua getting involved in a little tug of war with CJ Nusulu.
Fred's being the peacemaker. And
up now. Some extra talkative activity going on.
And the Bruins take their last time out, I believe. That's why they stopped the clock.
Deuce Latui gesticulating, throwing out an elbow. And the Bruins have taken their final timeout. Well, you can't blame UCLA for being a little bit.
They had their opportunities. They didn't get the breaks. They had 3 opportunities for breaks, Pete. The fumble, that was the early whistle call by Reggie Bush. That should have been a fumble. The interception, then the fumble that the Trojans got back to keep the drive alive, and then the missed throw. I think there was a wide open touchdown by Drew Olsen to Mercedes Lewis.
Liner will take another snap and another knee, and the Bruins won't be able to stop the clock again. Let me tell you something. Spencer Havener, the inside linebacker for UCLA, an orange was thrown in his direction, and he wanted to throw it back so badly at the SC fans, and he didn't. He just dropped it, picked it up, looked at it, and dropped it.
He's coming back to play next year. He's an excellent player. What a great game. What a great finish to a great rivalry.
Oranges flying out of the Trojan rooting section onto the field here at the Rose Bowl. 2 seconds, 1 second. The Trojans will play for the national championship in Miami on January 4th. Look out, Florida. Here comes the number 1 ranked team in the nation. The Trojans win at 29-24, their 6th consecutive victory over their arch rival UCLA. And we'll be back with more after these messages on the Trojan Radio Network.
It's amazing how much things can change in a day, or how much they can change in one night. Get ready to try Day Fresh beer from Budweiser. It's beer bottled less than 24 hours ago, and our Day Fresh beer crew is bringing it to bars and nightclubs in select cities everywhere. So look for them, and your chance to try beer that's so fresh, it's making every other beer seem so, well, yesterday. Day Fresh beer from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better. Budweiser beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
How did they know? How did Mercedes-Benz know that the premium leather seat of my new E500 would make me feel this comfortable? How did they know how fond I'd become of all 24 valves of the incredibly quick 302 horsepower V8? How did Mercedes-Benz know that? How did they know how attached I'd become to the Harman Kardon Logic 7 surround sound system and optional in-dash CD changer? How did they know that I wouldn't think of my E500 so much as a car, but as a goal achieved? How did they know? Maybe they knew that around here, you have to love what you drive.
Visit your Mercedes-Benz dealer of Southern California for a test drive today. The sound system and CD changer are part of an optional entertainment package. Harman Kardon and Logic 7 are registered trademarks of Harman International Industries, Inc.
The 17 Southern California Mercedes-Benz dealers have the right luxury convertible, coupe, sedan, or SUV for every Trojans fan. Test drive the Mercedes-Benz of your dream today at your nearby dealer or see them on the web at mbsocal.com.
This is Pete Carroll. Remember that the Trojans play right here on 1540, The Ticket.
Matt Leinart, for the second time in 2004, stands on top of the band director's podium, takes sword in hand, throws an orange into the stands, and leads the Trojan band in conquest. Let's listen in. day. You beat UCLA as a Trojan day, and SC makes it 6 straight over their arch rivals. 29-24 over the UCLA Bruins. A day for Matt Leinart, a day for Reggie Bush, a day for Ryan Killeen, and all Trojans everywhere. It's great to live in Trojan Town. Stay tuned next. The Verizon Locker Room Report follows immediately. The final score once again, USC 29, UCLA 24. This is the Pac-10 and National Champion Trojans Radio Network.
You've been listening to USC Trojan Football on the Trojan Radio Network. Today's game was brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers, proud sponsors of Trojan football and the USC-UCLA Lexus Gauntlet Crosstown Rivalry. Your Lexus dealer, pursuing perfection. By Verizon, the official local and long-distance telecommunications company of USC Athletics. And by Chevron. No gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron, which helps keep your car performing its best. The KMPC General Manager is John Ryan. The Program Director is Tim Parker. And the producer of USC Football is John Bartels. Studio assistants from Joey Rubin and Marcel Hall. Scoreboard updates with Steve Carbone. On-site engineer Rick Cutler. Sideline engineer Jeff Litz. The executive producer of USC Football is Ann Beebe. USC Football has been an exclusive presentation of 1540 The Ticket, KMPC Los Angeles. Stay tuned. The Locker Room Report is next.
When you're buying a used car, it pays to bring it to someone you trust. So what do you think?
Well, let's pop the hood.
It's no different when you need a car loan. So talk to your State Farm agent. Ask for information about a car loan from State Farm Bank.
Well, she runs like a dream.
I knew I could count on you.
For information on a new or used car loan from State Farm Bank, talk to your State Farm agent today.
We live where you live.
State Farm Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're heading to the Coliseum in your new GMC Envoy XUV. As Fight On blasts through your 6-speaker stereo, people stop and stare. Because you're driving the only SUV with a power-sliding rear roof that uncovers an all-weather cargo area. Or maybe it's the cardinal and gold face-painted fans screaming out your windows. See the Envoy XUV at your Southern California GMC truck dealers. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Hi, I'm Matt Leinart. I'd like to take time out to thank all the members of the Trojan Athletic Support Groups. The Trojan football team appreciates your continuing support, which allows USC's proud athletic heritage to grow. Thanks to the Scholarship Club, Women of Troy members, the committee, Cardinal and Gold, and the Trojan Club, whose donations go to athletic scholarships. On behalf of all Trojan student athletes, past and present, I'd like to say thank you.
Fed up with the hassles of parking at LAX? Tired of paying too much for too little service? There's a better way to park at LAX, the Parking Spot. The Parking Spot offers convenient valet and self-parking just minutes from LAX. Visit the Parking Spot and we'll pick you up in our yellow and black spotted shuttle and drop you off at the front door of your terminal. Enjoy a refreshing bottle of water on your way home. Nothing could be easier or a better value. The Parking Spot has 2 convenient locations to serve you at LAX. For directions or more information, visit theparkingspot.com.
You've got SoCal's official football station, 1540 The Ticket.
This is the Locker Room Report with Pete Arbogast, Paul McDonald, and John Jackson. Stay tuned for a check of the final stats, interviews from the USC locker room, and the final word with Trojan coach Pete Carroll. The Locker Room Report is brought to you by Chevron. No gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron, which helps keep your car performing its best. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in USC football. Is it in you? Gatorade. Now back to the Rose Bowl and Pete Arbogast.
It is a Cardinal and Gold love affair going on here at the Rose Bowl, and Reggie Bush wanted a piece of the action on the bandstand. He is now leading the Trojan band as SC holds off a determined UCLA squad. Decided underdogs. The Bruins gave the Trojans everything they wanted today in a football game, but SC, for the first time since 1972, and the greatest college football team ever to take the field, went 12-0. This Trojan team is 12-0 after beating UCLA 29-24. Welcome to the Verizon Locker Room Report. the official local and long-distance company of USC Athletics. During the locker room report, we'll be going down to the locker room for player of the game interviews with John Jackson. We'll check statistics and highlights, scores of other games, updates of games still going on around the country, and we'll tell you how this one came down. Paul, it wasn't easy, but it shouldn't be when you're playing your arch rival. It should be a really good football game.
This is the way you want it. These are the games you want to win, and the Bruins did. They brought their best effort today. They played the entire 60 minutes, and they struggled offensively at the beginning. They got some big plays. Special teams played well, and the defense played much better. They had a really good plan of trying to keep everything in front and try and rally to make the tackle. If it wasn't for Reggie Bush, the Bruins would have won this game.
Great players make great plays in big games. Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Ryan Killeen became the first kicker in Trojan history to kick 5 field goals in a single game.
You got to have a big smile on your face when you think about Ryan Killeen. Here's a guy who's gone through his ups and downs this year. It's been a tough year for Ryan Killeen. And, that stretch where he was missing and on field turf or whatever, and then to come out against the Irish 2 for 2 and against the Bruins to kick 5 field goals, and you look at 5 field goals, last time I checked that's 15 points. That's why the Trojans won this game. If he had a bad game, the Trojans would have lost this game.
And they passed up another chance on a 4th down and 1. They could have kicked another. It could have been 6 field goals in this contest, which I'll bet the Trojans wish they had done now. That would have been 32-24. Yeah. The worst they would have gone is overtime at the end there. Got a little crazy at the end, but SC able to hang on for the victory. So 12-0. Let's see, 21 straight, 15 wins in a row in the Pac-10, which the Trojans win outright, and 11 straight wins away from the Coliseum. 32 of 33, 39 of 43. Pete Carroll undefeated in November and December, except for the Las Vegas Bowl. 22-1 in the second half of regular seasons. The Trojans are 4-0 against the Bruins as a number 1 team, and these are 2 numbers that are really impressive. 35 wins in 3 years and 24 wins in the last 2 years. Never in the history of this outstanding, this storied football program has USC put up those kind of numbers.
People don't realize how difficult it is to be undefeated and untied, 12-0 in the regular season. That's because of all the hiccups you have, and you just can't be at the top of your game. Everyone's bringing their best game against you. To be undefeated and untied, that's a remarkable accomplishment for Pete Carroll and his team.
Tennessee trailing Auburn 21-7 as they jog off the field at halftime of the SEC championship game. The Big 12 final, Oklahoma and Colorado, will get underway shortly, and the winners of those games will have a shot at playing USC in the Orange Bowl on January 4th. We'll talk about that and more as we continue. The California Highway Patrol and USC are teaming up to remind you to play it safe this Trojan football season. If you're going to drink, designate a driver. More from the Rose Bowl. Trojans win at 29-24 over UCLA. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
Fans, if you're looking for great coverage of the Trojans and all local sports action, then pick up the Daily News. Whatever the sport, whatever the season, you'll find it filled with page after page of outstanding coverage, from high school and college to the pros. Fact is, the Daily News sports section was recently voted among the nation's top 10 in its circulation category by the Associated Press sports editors. So don't just sit there on the sidelines. Pick up the Daily News and get in the game. For convenient home delivery, just call 1-800-232-NEWS.
And we're back to the action where our business owner is scrambling to meet his deadline.
You know, his clients, vendors, and employees are all over the field, but he can't seem to call them all together.
Hold it. He's giving it another shot. He's dialing.
Now everyone's dialing.
It's a conference call with Verizon Conference Connections.
Talk about a turnaround.
With Verizon Conference Connections, it's easy to bring all the people you need to make snap decisions all together with one conference call. Anytime, anywhere there's a phone. And there's no activation fee. Just call 1-800-788-7587 to start today.
And he makes the deadline with time to spare.
Now that's what Verizon Conference Connections is all about.
Amazing.
Call 1-800-788-7587 today. Verizon, a proud sponsor of USC football.
Verizon. Make progress every day. Conference connections provided by Verizon Enterprise Solutions and Verizon Long Distance. Rates subject to change. Terms and conditions apply.
The Trojans call us home, and so should you. This is 1540 The Ticket.
For the Trojans to win 29-24, SC wins it by 5 and moves to 12-0, and we'll check the stats. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the USC Trojan Football Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Here's SoCal's only local sports in the morning with Roger Lodge and The Ticket Morning Show.
230 yards on the ground for USC to only 15 for UCLA. Manuel White, 7 carries, 13 yards. He did have a touchdown run of 9 yards. Negative yardage for Drew, who was hurt. Markey had 8 carries for 5 yards. Olsen, negative yards. Petrie with 1 carry for 4. Walker on the fake punt, 11 yards. And Brazil carried twice for 3 yards. But 15 total rushing yards for UCLA. For the Trojans, Lendale White, 16 carries, 70 yards. Reggie Bush, 15 carries, 205 yards. His career high water mark, a 66-yarder and an 81-yarder will do that for you. I'll tell you, today, along with those 2 runs, punt returns and regular old runs and end arounds, there was so much going on for Reggie Bush. Every single time he touched the ball, it was something spectacular today.
He's just a marvelous player. I mean, with his ability, his talent to score a touchdown every time he touches the football. It's almost. I read an article this week about him. He grew up playing dodgeball, and that's how he.
Bet he was good at it.
I mean, he probably never got hit. But went years without getting hit with the ball. Play with him in the closet, maybe not hit him.
Matt Leinart in the dark. Leinart, 24 of 34, 244 yards, and for the first time in his career, doesn't throw a touchdown pass. The Trojans still win the game, and now he's 24-1 as a starter.
The Bruins had a very good plan. They played very conservatively. They played this umbrella look, a lot of 2 deep, a lot of hard corners, and kept everything in front of them. And so Matt Leinart, you don't force it down the field. You just take what they give you.
2 throws to Jarrett and 1 over the middle, a long one to Steve Smith. They misfired on those. 2 were knocked away by Jarrett Page, so he had a chance, but they were just all.
And he threw a little. Dominique Byrd overthrew him a little bit on the sideline. So Matt Leinart wasn't as sharp as you'd like to see. I mean, certainly last week against the Irish, he was really sharp, but he wasn't a little off a little bit, but didn't make any glaring mistakes. Kept the machine running, and that's what you do as a field general.
Enough.
I think, it's interesting because of the performance that Reggie Bush had today, and your comment during this broadcast.
Close.
Yeah, I mean, Reggie, everyone's going to come away and go,
who's
wow,
the best
Reggie
player
Bush
on the SC football team?
Well, yeah, after today's game, you say Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush won that game.
Well, Leinart wins it this year. Bush wins it next year. Then.
I think so.
Okay. Smith caught 4 for 37. Jarrett 5 for 44. Bush 6 for 75. Bird 2 for 8. Mitchell 2 for 36. Holmes caught 1. Webb caught 1. White caught 2. Kurtman caught 1. 9 different receivers. Olsen 20 of 35. 280 yards and a touchdown. Trojans are going to have to shore up that pass defense. That didn't look very good today, and UCLA can do that. They're not a bad passing team, no question.
Well, you got a lot of pressure on Olsen at times, but when he had time to throw, he made the connection. There was some separation with the receivers.
Bragg, 6 catches for 70. Taylor, 4 for 50. Perry, 4 for 120. Lewis, tight end, 4 for 29, and a touchdown.
There were some great catches, too. I thought the receivers for the Bruins played really well. Junior Taylor with the great catch at the end there, but he had some other really fine catches. Craig Bragg, of course, a touchdown on the kickoff return, but he made some fine catches as well. Mercedes Lewis, also nice receiving core for the Bruins, and a good effort.
They lose Bragg and Perry and Manuel White, but of course Drew is back if he's healthy next year. They lose 2 offensive linemen. Mercedes Lewis is a threat to jump to the NFL early after this junior season, I would think, with his size and skill. Defensively, lose Clark and Emmanuel. Everybody else is back. This could be a pretty decent UCLA team next year.
I think so, and it's the 3rd year in the Carl Durrell era, and I think because of that, they'll just improve year after year. Got to hit the recruiting trail pretty hard, but after this performance against the Trojans, that should help them on the streets against USC competing to get players.
We get them at home next year, December the 3rd, back here on November the 18th of 2006. Trojans win 29-24. You want to attract a crowd to your next special event? Advertise in the Daily Trojan newspaper by calling 213-740-2707. Place your classified and display ads in your best source for campus news every day. The Daily Trojan at 213-740-2707. Back with more. We'll probably be heading down to the locker room. The Trojans win it 29-24 over UCLA on the Trojan Radio Network.
We know that the holidays always seem to sneak up on you, but sooner or later you'll be making plans to go home. And we know that once you get there, you'll eat yourself into another food coma with absolutely no regret. At American Airlines, we know because we fly more people, more miles than any airline on Earth. We know that when you fly home for the holidays, it's not just a seat on a flight to a place. It's a seat on a flight to your life. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
So, coach has you running suicides until your side hurts and all you want to do is quit. Well, that's just not in the program. What is in the program is Gatorade. Gatorade puts back what those suicides are taking out of you. That way you'll have more of what you need to keep going and show coach you have what it takes to finish. Oh, that pain in your side? They don't call them suicides for nothing. Gatorade. Is it in you?
It's time for the world, every boy and every girl, to tie a giant Lexus bow. Every Lexus you see, every car and SUV should have a giant Lexus bow. Make it big, make it tall, bigger than a shopping mall. Your big gigantic Lexus bow. Every plane, every train, everyone who lives in Spain should see your giant Lexus bow.
It's that time of year again. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here with the best values of the year, whether you lease or buy. There's never been a better time to surprise someone you love. Whether you choose the ultra-luxurious LS, the uncompromising ES, the stylish SC, or the advanced RX.
Your big gigantic Lexus bow.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 3rd, only at your Southern California Lexus dealer, or visit Lexus.com.
Stick with the ticket for SoCal's best sports talk. 1540 The Ticket.
Trojans beat the Bruins 29-24, their sixth straight win over UCLA. Lofa Tatupu had 7 tackles and an interception. Jason Leach had a pick. Sacks for Cody, Wright, and Frosty Rucker. 3 sacks for the Trojans. And 3 for UCLA as well. Leach and Bing had 5 tackles. Cody and Wright had 4 each. Matt Clark had 9 tackles and a sack. Justin London 8 and an interception. Trey Brown had 8 tackles. Kevin Brown had a couple of sacks. And Chris Horton had a punt block for UCLA. The Trojans turned the ball over twice, UCLA 3 times, so SC's turnover margin now plus 14. UCLA drops to -5 on the season, and the sacks stay even today, 3-3 unofficially. Let's go down to the locker room. John Jackson to begin our Trojan post-game locker room interviews on a Verizon Locker Room Report as SC beats UCLA. The seniors have never lost to UCLA. Let's keep it that way.
And I have one of them with me. Sean Cody joins me right now. And Sean, wow, I mean, what a game. And I don't know how to even start this interview, but I do know that your defense played exceptionally well, especially after getting off to a great start. Special teams gave up a couple big plays, but the defense held together. What was the theme on the sideline?
Yes, we know they had a couple weeks to prepare for us, and they were going to come out with some stuff. We played great defense, and I thought Coach Carroll had a great game plan, and we just our main goal was stopping the run. And I think that that's their main part of their offense, and that's what we did well.
No question, you stopped the run, and let's talk about some of the pass defense. Drew Olsen seemed to be getting the ball out of his hand pretty quickly today. How frustrating is it as a defensive lineman not to be able to get to him, knowing that you're beating your man off the ball?
Yeah, it was tough. He did a good job of getting some quick releases, and when it comes to that, you just got to spin your ears back and try to get there faster. So it's definitely tough when that's happening, but that was our game plan.
Well,
hey Sean, great win, and how does it feel to be undefeated and untied in the regular season, 12-0?
Man, it's just unbelievable. To start the season #1 and continue it the whole way through. It's just been a magical ride for me in my senior year, and I hope to continue it for another game.
And to never lose against the Bruins, how does that feel?
That's even better. Coming here and my last year, to play the Bruins here at the Rose Bowl and take over the Rose Bowl. What a feeling. The Trojan fans were going crazy. Screaming "Go Trojan" back and forth, and it was just, a magical moment.
Now coming in to USC, did you think in your mind, truthfully, that you could get to this level? I mean, because the level you're at, you're in rarefied air right now.
Yeah, I that's what I hoped. With signing with Coach Carroll, I knew he was trying to do some special things here. Look how fast he's done it. So it's just been a magical ride, and I'm just glad to be part of what Coach Carroll's been doing here, because he's such a work guy, and I love playing under him.
Get a few days off now, and then get ready for the bowl game, which appears obvious that it's going to be the Orange Bowl against either Auburn or Oklahoma. You have your druthers. We've seen Auburn a couple of times.
It doesn't matter. The Orange Bowl committee came in here after our meeting and gave us
a heads up we might be in there. So it's just a special thing, that this year we get to play for the national championship after being burned last year. So
I want somebody to say, yeah, I want to play Oklahoma, or I want to play Auburn. I want to ask every guy in the show tonight, who do you rather play? They're going to have the same answer. I want to hear something new.
Oh, man.
These guys could say we could say the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care what it is.
Okay.
Bring them on.
Yeah, exactly. Bring them on. We like to play anybody. Those two great teams, play good ball, and whoever we can play, it will be fun.
A lot of extra pushing and shoving tonight. That's just UCLA stuff?
I think so. Those guys they were going after it tonight. They had a good game plan, and they were doing some things, and special teams for them was, amazing. They were doing some stuff on us, and, but we hung in there the whole game. I think, Reggie was unbelievable tonight, and, I give a lot of credit, Brian Colleen, he had a magic game, making all those kicks and, keeping us in the game with points, and our defense did a good job.
First guy in Trojan history to kick 5 field goals in a single game. I bet he doesn't even know that.
Oh, I'm sure he does now. The media's all over him.
Sean, thank you, and bless you, and congratulations on a great regular season, and we'll see you wherever we see you. Hopefully it'll be in South Florida.
All right, guys.
See you, Sean.
Sean Cody, our first guest on the Trojan Verizon Locker Room Report, and we'll be back to continue with John Jackson in the locker room right after these messages on the Trojan Radio Network.
Smart & Final is the smaller, faster warehouse store with low warehouse prices and no membership fees. Smart & Final, the perfect place to plan your holiday meals, tailgates, and game day parties. You'll find restaurant-quality food, fresh meat and produce, and a wide selection of paper products, beverages, and more. At Smart & Final and Coke have teamed up to support the Coast Guard Foundation. The Coca-Cola Bottling Company will donate up to $25,000 based on Coca-Cola purchases made from November 27th through January 9th at Smart & Final, the smaller, faster warehouse store.
Hi, I'm Reggie Bush of the Trojan football team. Whether it's a short flare pass or student body right, I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent USC athletics this season. I'd like to thank all the members of the athletic support groups, the scholarship club, the committee, Women of Troy, Cardinal and Gold, and the Trojan Club members. The proud heritage at USC has been built year by year on the achievement of outstanding athletes. I appreciate your support of our education and our future. Fight on.
10 years ago, these USC Trojans were little boys playing on the grass. Today, they're big boys playing in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on West Coast turf. West Coast turf Super Bowl sod is the choice for the Dodgers, Angels, and Padres, too. 6 Super Bowls have been played on West Coast turf, and you can play on West Coast turf Super Bowl sod, too. Give yourself the home field advantage, West Coast turf Super Bowl sod for your home and landscape. Check out www.superbowlsod.com for ordering and installation.
Hear every USC game here on the Trojan Station, 1540 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the Rose Bowl as the Trojans beat UCLA 29-24. Pete Arbogast with Paul McDonald. As SC wins it, we have a few more numbers to throw at you. USC, 1 of 13 third down conversions. The Bruins, 3 of 14. That, my friends, is a combined 4 of 27, and that's not good. Time of possession, 34-33 for the Trojans, 25-27 for UCLA. Officially, the sacks were 3-3. Red zone, Bruins 2 of 3, Trojans 5 of 7. And those are some of those extra numbers for you, Paul. Anything else stand out for you?
Turnovers, SC had 2 turnovers, and then they got the 2 interceptions at the end, which were obviously huge, and then the 1 fumble. So won the turnover battle, even though it was turnover-free really late in the game. And all that sort of happened. And then other than the rushing yards, we'd already talked about that, and the Trojans winning the battle in the trenches there on both sides of the ball.
Bush had 15 yards. I'm going to add these up as we go. 15 yards punt return, 39 yards kickoff return. The leading receiver was 73 yards, and the leading ground gainer with 204. That is 331 yards for Reggie Bush on 25 touches. 331 yards.
That's just remarkable. The other thing that I just see here is the average gain on first down, which is a rare stat that you don't see in the final stats. USC 10 yards average on first down, and the Bruins only 5.6, and that obviously put the Trojans in position. You'd think they convert more third down conversions, but they kept getting first downs on first down.
Thunder and Lightning scored touchdown again today. That is 23 straight in which either or score a touchdown in the ball game. Of course, the Trojans are undefeated when they both do, and one of those two is down there with John Jackson in the Trojan locker room.
Yeah, I have Thunder down with me, and Lindell White First of all, the game plan, obviously, to run the ball against the Bruins, and you guys were successful in the first half. Talk about the running game and talk about the guys up front.
Well, coming into this game, we knew that we had a good chance to run the ball on them. And our offensive line been pumped up all week to get the run game going. And we came out the first drive, and Reggie Bush took about 60, 70-some yards. And then from there, we knew the run game would be on. It's just up to us to execute.
Now, you guys really ran it a lot in the first half, but got away from it in the second half. Did UCLA do something different, or was there a reason you guys got away with it? Got away from it?
I have no clue. Maybe they just started scoring some points, and we try to get back down in position to get some points back on the board fast. But I mean, the run game was real good today, and we just got to keep up the good work. And as long as we continue to block like this, it's going to be real hard to stop.
Paul?
Great game, Lendale. Talk about the UCLA effort. It seemed like they played 4 quarters. Last year was your first year here. It seemed like they threw the towel in. Of course, it was 30-0 at halftime. But talk about the UCLA effort in this game. They played pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah, UCLA came out with a lot of fight in them today. I mean, it's a crosstown rivalry, and they weren't going to just lay down today. They came out fighting. We wanted to fight longer. We just knew what we had on the line. We didn't want to let it go.
They were given.
I'm sorry. What you say?
Excuse me, Lendale. Go ahead.
Oh, I was done. I'm sorry.
Oh, they averaged 221 yards on the ground that they were giving up, and of course, you guys took advantage of that early on. Were you anticipating that Norm Chow was going to give you and Reggie so many opportunities on the ground?
Yeah, coming in, Coach Chow told us that it was going to be a big run day. So, I mean, that's what we prepared for the last couple of weeks. And, Coach Davis got the line guys ready to go, and they was pumped up all week. I never seen them more fired up than this past week, and they knew we was going to run the ball a lot. And we came out, and we ran the ball to perfection for the most part.
Is there a better 1-2 punch anywhere on the planet than you and Reggie Bush?
I used to think there was a lot of people out there. I mean, after seeing what Reggie can do out there, I mean, I don't think there's anybody really better than him. And I mean, if they want to throw me in it, I'd like to be in it with him.
Well, I mean, is there any human being faster in a uniform?
I have not seen him. Unless they someone, maybe Dion in his prime.
Look, I was trying to watch everything that was going on the sideline after the game when you guys were out there talking with the fans. And did you get hit by an orange?
No, I didn't get hit by an orange, unfortunately.
It looked like you had to dodge a couple.
Yeah, we was running off the field. They was launching them at us. I think D. Reed had a part in that too. Desmond Reed had a couple oranges stashed away. And he had some,
he had to put away. So he was throwing them back.
Yeah, so he might have been throwing them back up there.
Like the idea of going to South Miami?
Yeah, I love the idea. I can't wait. I've been there once before, but I need to see it again.
Here's the question then: Oklahoma or Auburn?
I really can't decide that. Both teams are they're real good. I mean, we're familiar with Auburn a little more just because the last couple of years. But I mean, they're both good teams and they're gonna come out and fight. It's just up to us to see whether we're gonna fight or not. But I mean, I have a lot of confidence in this team. So whoever they put up in front of us, we're gonna play.
Doesn't matter which one you play then?
No, it doesn't matter.
All right, Lendale. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Lendale White, our guest at the Trojan Locker Room Report, will continue after these messages from the Rose Bowl. The Trojans win it over UCLA 29-24. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
John Madden and Tom Brady here for Sirius Satellite Radio.
Hey, John, I gotta say, your cruiser rocks.
Yeah, I got a widescreen TV, surround sound.
But the Sirius Satellite Radio is the coolest thing.
I can listen to the entire NFL, no matter where I go.
Now get Sirius Satellite Radio for just $12.95 a month and listen to your favorite team every week, everywhere. Hardware sold separately. Terms, conditions, and activation fee apply. Visit Best Buy, Circuit City, Crutchfield.com, Radio Shack, or Sirius.com for details. The NFL is a registered trademark of the National Football League.
Now I never have to leave the cruiser.
John, that's why Sirius makes a boombox.
Children are precious. When they're sick or hurt, we want the best care for them. For more than a century, Children's Hospital Los Angeles has helped heal children who are suffering from serious disease and injury. Its physicians are recognized leaders. Its treatments set the standard of care. Its research is recognized worldwide. And it's one of America's premier teaching hospitals affiliated with USC's Keck School of Medicine for more than 72 years. Children's Hospital Los Angeles, a world leader in pediatric and adolescent health.
Is proud to be associated with the Trojans of USC. Just like USC, Ahern Rentals has tradition. Our tradition is in providing quality rental equipment for over 50 years through our experienced and trained staff of employees. We have 9 locations in Southern California to serve you, our customers. Every employee at Ahern Rentals would like to personally thank each customer for their continued support and to the USC Trojans for allowing Ahern Rentals to be part of their team.
I'm Pete Carroll, and this is the home of the Trojans, 1540, The Ticket.
beat UCLA 29-24, and the Trojan band still having its concert while UCLA band is having a team meeting down there. Go ahead and do that, and then we'll go down to the
Sky Team and its 6 members are here to get you there. With over 7,000 flights to 500 destinations in 110 countries, Sky Team makes life easier for you. Sky Team, caring more about you and a proud sponsor of Trojan football. Visit SkyTeam.com for more information.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. Matt Leinart is standing by in the Trojan locker room with John Jackson, and for the first time in his career, Matt Leinart doesn't throw a touchdown pass, but I'll bet he doesn't care. His teams are 24-1 when he starts at quarterback, and they've beaten UCLA back-to-back years, 6 in a row. Congratulations to Matt, his teammates, and let's go to John.
Hey, Pete, we're doing this interview in the training room, and that's exactly where Matt Leinart needs to be. He took a beating today. He was consistently hit all game long. First of all, I got to ask about your health, Matt. I know you took a lot of shots today. How are you feeling?
I feel good. They got to us quite a bit and took some hits, but just we're able to bounce back and get up from those and just keep executing the game plan and keep just leading the team and move the ball. And I think we had a ton of big plays that obviously changed the game. So I feel fine. Maybe a little sore tomorrow, but I feel good right now.
As opposed to last week the game plan called for a lot of passes. This week, obviously, run because UCLA seemed to be weak on the run. They proved to be a little bit different than that, a little bit more than you expected today from them.
Yeah, anytime it doesn't take much to get up for this game, and they wanted to come out and knock us off, and it was a great game. It was a battle to the finish, and obviously, we saw some things that we wanted to try to run a little bit and establish that, and we did. And Reggie and Lindell ran the ball great, and we did enough in the passing game to move the ball and to make some big plays. So they fought to the end, and it was just a great game.
Paul? Matt, great game. Obviously undefeated against the Bruins. You got to be happy with that. You guys ran the ball a lot more for obvious reasons in this game, whereas all season long, you got more in a rhythm of throwing the football a lot more and down the field. And there were some down the field throws that you probably would have made. Maybe you think if you had better rhythm.
I was kind of mad at myself because I missed some big plays down the middle of the field and a couple deep throws. But I think I was just kind of antsy and anxious. I just wanted to get big plays, and then I just settled down a little bit and just took what they gave me and kind of just did enough. And I let the running game take over and let those guys and hold on to the ball and move the chains. But yeah, I was a little anxious. I think I was a little out of rhythm. Not throughout the whole game, but at times, and it was pretty, you could see it. But I try to just keep the same and just keep moving the ball.
And you're as good as anybody out there that does that. There's no question about that. They came with a bunch of corner blitzes. Now, I know you see that in practice all the time. Same kind of defense. Were you surprised by how aggressive they were on defense?
I wasn't surprised, and I think we saw a bunch of them coming. We were just kind of unable to get to it at times. But they did some nice things. They brought a lot of pressure, made us check out a lot of plays and audible, and they did a very good job on defense. They mixed it up a lot and kind of kept us guessing at times, but we came out with the win, so that's all that matters.
Now, I had the privilege of being in the backfield with one of the great tailbacks in the history of college football, and certainly USC Heisman Trophy winner Charles White. Mm-hmm. And I always said, and I've been asked on television interviews before, what was it like having that kind of view in the backfield? Now I'm going to ask you. You got a view in the backfield with number 5, with what he does, which is freakish. What's that like?
One of his touchdown runs, I was on the ground because I got hit pretty late, so I didn't get to see what he did. But when it's like that, you just kind of hear the fans and you just know that something special is happening. But he can change a game anytime he touches the ball, and he proved that tonight. And just has the ability to make anybody miss on jukes and everything. And he can make 11 guys miss on one juke. So he was a special player tonight, and that's why he's the best football player in college.
Even though you have another game to go this year in your junior season, is that enough? A guy like Reggie Bush in the backfield, or Lindell White for that matter, or Dwayne Jarrett or Steve Smith, is that enough to keep you at USC for a senior season next year? I know you always say the right thing. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I think next year we're going to be even scarier, but
that's for sure.
We want to focus on our next game, wherever that takes us. And but we're so young and just so talented and so scary that the things that we could do. The sky's the limit for this team.
Well, I'll ask the same question. I know what the answer is going to be. Would you rather play Oklahoma or Auburn in the Orange Bowl?
Oh man, I could care less who we play. I just want to be there. So
can I get a straight answer from anybody? I'm trying. I'm going to keep trying. John, who would you rather see play?
I'd rather see him play Oklahoma.
There you go. I got somebody.
Yeah, but I'm biased. I'm a fan.
Thank you, Matt. Congratulations again.
Great job, Matt.
Matt Leinart, our guest, and we'll come back.
Pete, don't go away. We got the coach right here.
Well, we'll go right to him then. We don't want to mess around. Pete Carroll is going to sit in as we watch the Oklahoma-Colorado game. Oklahoma is leading Colorado 7-0 in the first. Jason White, a touchdown pass early on. If the Sooners win and win convincingly, we expect that they'll go to the Orange Bowl and play USC on January 4th. And we'll have to wait and see. What's pretty much sure is that the Trojans will be heading there. Let's go right back to John Jackson.
Hey, well, Coach, down with Coach Carroll. And, Coach, first of all, my first question is not even a question. Just talk to me about Reggie Bush just a little bit. I mean, I've heard Pete describe him all game long. I need an expert opinion right now. Can you give it to me?
Yeah, he's just unbelievably gifted football player, and it's so exciting to have on a football team for everybody to watch. The whole stadium's holding your breath. I mean, whether you're rooting for him or rooting against him, you're holding your breath when he's got that ball. And today he just was just incredibly on the mark with his runs and his energy and his speed, and it was just a beautiful thing to watch. Obviously, we needed him today. It swings different ways on this football team who you have to lean on. And today, obviously, Reggie was the guy in Ryan Killeen.
Hey, Coach, well, before the game, I predicted a 52-21 victory for the Trojans. A little bit off base there. Did the Bruins play better? Because I think that's the best I've seen them play. I've watched them pretty much throughout the year. That's the best I've seen them play. Was there anything you didn't expect, or is that sort of what you expected in this game?
No, I have no crystal ball. I don't know. I just go out and play, and we let them stay in the game because we kept kicking field goals. We kicked 5 field goals, and those are 3-4 touchdown opportunities, and the game's a different deal. But so they did a really good job. They did a great job on third down, and they kept us down. We were 1 for 11 or something today. I mean, those are horrible numbers for us. We've been almost a 50% team, and to their credit, they did a great job. I think that the thing that should be really clear is that UCLA played a heck of a football game today, and the coaches had them ready. They were jacked up. The fans were right. Everything. This is what it feels like when they're trying to upset you. And we've been through these stadiums all year, and you can feel it. When it's all working in the right direction. And they gave us a heck of a game today, but our guys just wouldn't let it happen. I love the way we executed so many situations right down the stretch. Guys just staying poised and doing the right thing. Castle's onside kick and the couple turnovers that we got, running the clock down, the whole thing. We did a lot of great things. I'm really disappointed that they got that ball away from Reggie. I don't know how that happened in there, and they couldn't see it. But the rest of it was a very, very exciting day.
Well, a lot of great things happened today, but they always say defense wins championships. No difference today. That defense was put in a lot of tough situations today. They rose up big. They stopped them in the red zone after a block punt. They continuously came up with big plays, an interception at the end when the momentum swung. Talk about the defense a little bit for me.
Yeah, this is such a great group of guys to be with. They're so competitive and they're so confident and they're skilled, it's to see them be in those situations. I'm really disappointed we didn't stop them on the fourth down there. Down there when we had our shot, they got a little fade route and hit it because we really just wanted to do that just to do it. But it was it's a great group, and Lofa, with what he did to get back to play this week. I mean, you guys got to know, man, this guy just he took it, man. he was hurting, and he played anyway and played well. Great to see Jason Leach get a pick there at the end, Ice Man Senior, and just a lot of great stuff happened today. And really, we played very well on the run defense was awesome today. I think they had 20 yards rushing, and this is a team that averaged 200 yards a game. So we did that really well, and our third down stuff was really good. Field just kind of got in their favor with a couple plays here and there, and for the most part, it was a terrific day for the defense.
Paul?
Pete, 17 yards rushing is what they had, and for 3 years combined, 67 yards rushing for the Bruins against the Trojan defense.
Yeah, well, our guys were so excited about the opportunity to play these guys because they kept talking about how and rightfully so about their run team, their running game, and the runners and all of that, and our guys just wouldn't let it happen. And Michael Patterson was just ridiculous in there in the middle. They said touch him, so it was we accomplished that part of it, gave us the chance to win the game, but really because of the kicking game, they hung in there and we're there at the end.
And before the end of the first half, Pete Arbogast was talking about you ranting and raving with the officials, and we didn't know what that was. We were trying to figure out what you were
Matt Leinart got on Reggie's touchdown run. Matt got drilled after the handoff, and the guy admitted that let me say this: the guy acknowledged that it might have been late, and he almost got knocked out. He almost got knocked out on a running play, handing the ball. That's a penalty.
That's insanity.
They should have been able to call that. So I just wanted to make sure he was going to protect our quarterback. I mean, anytime we handed off, the guy could get knocked out of the game. That's not right.
Well, talk about number 16. I mean, what a response he had last week against the Irish. 2 for 2, and of course this week 5 field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, his back was against the wall, right? I mean, he was on the firing squad line.
Well, he was in the competitive line. Let's say. We were in a competitive mode for a while there. But I'll just tell you this story. He told his football team when the seniors had a chance to talk in the locker room after the Notre Dame game, and he thanked everybody from the bottom of his heart for hanging with him. And he said not one person ever gave him a discouraging word. Nobody ever showed any lack of support for him. And he was, he said he'll forever remember that. Well, look at him respond today, boy. I mean, it was just extraordinary. I mean, he has been a star down the stretch here, and we were hoping that he would be. And we all kept wondering, but when we needed him, he was there, and he'll never forget what he's accomplished here in the last part of this season.
There's another guy we talked about briefly, and he made one great play, but it was a really important play. And he's freezing his took us off on the sideline the whole game, and Matt Castle comes in and recovers that onside kick.
Man, the play of his life right there, boy. He did it with great confidence. He jumped up in the air, got smoked, as you do on those situations. It was a great play for us and for him.
Oklahoma or Auburn?
I don't care, guys. I agree with Matt. Whatever Matt said, I'll go with whatever he wants to do.
Well, we've seen Auburn. I'd rather play somebody new.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you guys have votes?
Forget it. No, we don't.
I got a Heisman vote.
We'll be there, though, if he'll have us.
Yeah, we'll come down if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll get together tomorrow afternoon on campus and just see what the announcement is. I'm going to check in with Nate, and he'll give me the straight scoop here, and I'll figure it out.
Congratulations to you, your staff, your players, and all surrounded around USC football. What a wonderful year it has been so far. 1 to go, and we'll look forward to that with great anticipation.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, really, this was an incredibly fun stadium to be in today. Our people were just awesome at both ends, and it was really fun at the end of the game was over to go down and share just the celebration with both ends, and they were terrific.
Just another year to live in Trojan Town, Peter.
It's been a great year for us, man, and we're so happy and so proud.
Thanks again. Pete Carroll, head coach of the Trojans. When we return, want to do an ID first. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is the Trojan Radio Network.
KMPC Los Angeles is 1540 The Ticket. Stick with The Ticket all week long for Trojan News First and SoCal's best sports talk.
Let's go back down to the locker room real quickly, a real quick interview, and I'll tell you why, because for the first time in USC history, a man has kicked 5 field goals in a college football game. Ryan Killeen, 5 for 5 today. We don't want to let that get by. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, no question about it, Ryan. Congratulations, first of all. You're the man of the hour. Talk about the kicks. Talk about the feeling, because, come on, you won the game for us today.
It felt great to get 5 opportunities and be successful in all 5. It felt great. And I wasn't informed that it was a record until about 15 minutes ago, and it feels great. Paul?
No, Ryan, unbelievable performance. I think, and we asked Pete Carroll this, with, you're back up against the wall. Everyone, the bar is high at this place, and you delivered against the 2 greatest opponents in the history of USC football, 7 out of 7 in the last 2 weeks. That's got to make you be, very gratified.
Definitely. It makes, kind of makes my whole career here, to be honest with you. Mostly this game, the last game also. So, it feels great, and just to get those opportunities in those big games, it's awesome.
We suggest to you that you and Reggie Bush will be named co-players of the game when the banquet comes up in another week for this USC-UCLA game. That'll be a nice thing to have on your wall years and years from now.
Oh, it'd be awesome. Never thought it'd happen.
Well, congratulations again, and here's to kick it. I think 5 might be a little more than the team really wants to see kicked in the Orange Bowl. Let's have a couple in the Orange Bowl, okay?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do my best.
All right, Ryan, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryan Killeen, 5 for 5, first time in USC history to kick 5 field goals in a single game.